drum majors Madison Albert, Ryan Williams, Elise Groon, and Remington Schlehan. Olivet Nazarene University proudly presents the Tiger Marching Band. The Tiger Marching Band includes roughly 120 students from a wide range of academic disciplines. These students have joined together to become one of the most spirited Christian marching bands in the country, and they come supporting Tiger football. Well, let's have a big hand for this year's Tiger Band. All right, ONU fans, it's time for Tiger football. Now, welcome to the field, the ONU cheerleaders. Standing in the symbolic flame, the Tiger Marching Band will now perform Alma Mater Fanfare. And now would you please stand for our prayer and remain standing for the national anthem, performed by the Tiger Marching Band, conducted by Director of Bands and Professor of Music, Dr. Matt Stratton. And presenting our nation's colors are the Roaring Tigers Battalion from the ONU ROTC. Our prayer will be given by ONU Director of Athletics, Justin Glenn.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this day and the opportunity to gather and enjoy this great game. Pray for your blessings upon the athletes competing. May they compete with respect and to the best of their abilities, Lord, and everyone else in attendance. Just lift them up to you. May they glorify and honor you in all that's said and done today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome down to Bourbonnais today for the University of St. Francis Fighting Saints season finale as they take on the Olivet Nazarene Tigers. Nick Jacobs and Dave Laquetta with you down here up high atop Ward Field. Cloudy day, windy day, but you can't ask for anything better than this for your final game of a football season, I'll tell you that.
For sure. 67 degrees. Feels like 58, according to our iPhone. But one of the rare fields, Nick, that we go east-west instead of north-south. And fortunately for guys returning punts and kickoffs, the fact that it is an overcast afternoon makes that a lot better than to field punts and kickoffs today. But you know, a lot of injuries on both sides.
Sure.
A lot of starters that the Saints have had throughout the season. The Nick Mabudises, the Trey Sayers, as of late, Nick Franciscovich. Most of them obviously have been on the defensive side of the ball. Johnny Sorensen is out today. He will not play on offense. But the same is true for Olivet Nazarene. They have their starting quarterback and their top linebacker with the most tackles. They're both out, and as we know, Nick, every year, the final game of the year, you can expect the unexpected to happen, and I'm looking at a high-scoring affair. We do have winds out of the west, obviously, because it's a warmer November day, so they're pushing from the west, and again, the fact that the field goes east-west, it'll be interesting to see how both teams approach winds that are about 15
significant,
20 miles an hour at times. And they will for sure, a ball that goes a little bit deeper will have a little bit of a spin or a curve on it.
Absolutely, yeah. Wind will be a factor. One team will be going into it. One will be will have the advantage, and we'll let you know through the game who has what in that regard as the captains line up at the side of the field. Olivet Nazarene coming out of the tunnel, ready for the coin flip as well. Set the scene a little bit here. First for the Saints, this will be the final game for both of these two teams. For Olivet Nazarene, they had some conference championship hopes a little bit early on in the season. They rattled off a 5-1 record until recently when their quarterback Christian Dew Reed was just throwing the ball all over the yard. 22 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, unfortunately for the Tigers, just 2 weeks ago against St. Francis, Indiana, he goes down with a shoulder, unable to go here today. Big loss for the offense for the Tigers. Defensively, you mentioned it as well. John Harmon, senior linebacker out of Wisconsin, leads the team in tackles with 67. He's got double-digit tackles for a loss, multiple sacks as well. He's unable to go, so that's kind of a game changer for Olivet and Nazarene, and they have lost their last 3 to set up this game with a 5-4 record, 1-3 in the MSFA. For the Saints, they are 3-6. Just really couldn't get that signature win this year. They've been in opportunities, even against some of the top teams in the country, like your Marions and St. Francis, Indiana's. They had them late in games within one score. The Saints just really unable to close the door on those teams. Question today for the Saints offense, who's going to be the quarterback today? I was down on the field and I noticed Nathan Mall taking snaps with the first team, Carl Butte taking snaps with the second team here today, but as we know from last week, that could change at any moment depending on performance issues.
Yeah, Carl Butte had over 200 yards of all-purpose yards, 141 through the air, but then also had another 84 yards on the ground. Threw 5 passes, completed 2 for another 25 yards. So, as we mentioned, Johnny Sorensen out, but you may see a little bit of both Nathan Mall and Carl Butte this afternoon, taking advantage of whatever the Olivet Nazarene defense presents this afternoon.
And regardless of who the quarterback is, I hope we see a lot of Carl Butte. It seems like good things happen for the Fighting Saints whenever the ball finds its hands into number 1, whether that's taking the snap, whether that's handing off, whether it's a quick pass, kick return, whatever the case is, magical things happen when Carl Butte touches the football. He's got 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns, which is the first time a Saint player has accomplished that feat. I think it's got to be a priority if you want to go out strong in this game to find ways to get the ball to Carl Butte today.
Yeah, and we talked about that. Early on he had some great numbers, and then, he was quiet for a period of 3 or 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden the kickoff return against Marion a couple weeks ago, the kickoff return and the 200-plus yards of all-purpose yardage last week, and that makes for excitement on that St. Francis sideline. It puts points on the board. Carl had a couple touchdowns last week. He leads the team along with Jake Friddle in touchdowns with 6 each. And if you hear those names this afternoon doing good things will happen for the Saints.
Take a look at last week here for both of these teams as the Tiger Marching Band entertains a pretty good crowd out here in Bourbonnais today. For the Saints, lost to number 22, St. Francis, Indiana, 42-24. That's when we saw Carl Butte deliver that 3rd kickoff return for a touchdown. The Saints actually outscored the Cougars in that one 17-15 in 3 quarters. Unfortunately, you got to play 4, and St. Francis, Indiana put up 28 points in that second quarter to really put it out of reach. 466 total yards for USF, Indiana, 4 touchdown passes. At halftime, Carl Butte did take over at quarterback, kind of sparked it. Just really was a little bit too late in that regard, and couldn't really corral in that high-powered St. Francis, Indiana offense. Olivet Nazarene, they lost to St. Xavier up in Chicago, 21-14, the final in that one. Olivet Nazarene, just 225 yards of total offense, 124 through the air. The first game without Christian Dureed at quarterback. So they're looking to see what kind of offense their quarterback, their senior, can provide, and Caleb Garner, who we expect to be the starting quarterback once we get the kickoff going. Olivet Nazarene will return our opening kick, 15 minutes on the clock. Good crowd out here in Bourbonnais for the season finale for both squads here today. Adrian Guerrero set to kick off. We mentioned the strong wind a bit earlier. It'll be directly at Adrian's back. Very good potential. This one goes out the back of the end zone.
I would second that motion.
Right foot into it. There's the kick. And it will go 5 yards into the end zone and take a hop out the back. And we are underway. Olivet Nazarene will start with football behind Caleb Garner, their senior quarterback out of Michigan. Very small sample size for Caleb. 12 out of 36 passing. That's about 58%. Just under 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, a couple picks. Did have 2 touchdowns and an interception versus St. Xavier a week ago. Much more adept runner of the football, so St. Francis defense is going to have to be all over that. Starting running back is Aaron Bennett, junior out of the Bronx, New York. 86 carries, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, averages 4.7 per carry. St. Francis starts with 3 down linemen, and they're going to start on the ground with a carry to Bennett. Push to the outside, breaks 1 tackle, but The sure-handed Carson Hansen comes in to take him down after the first play of the game. Pickup of 5 from Aaron Bennett.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. You talked about it in the pregame, Nick, the fact that they've had such great numbers through the air, and Caleb is a running quarterback. We've seen him with 31 carries on the season, and they come out the first play and run and pick up 5 yards.
Through the air, they like to go to their big tight end, Blake Lamb. He's their leading receiver in catches, yardage, and touchdowns. He wears number 7. We'll keep an eye on him all game long. Here's 2nd down and 5 play. High snap but handled. Handoff goes to the outside to the the wide receiver on the carry, Ray Coffey. He's pushed out of bounds only after about a yard, so nice job stringing that out for the St. Francis D, bringing up the first 3rd down of the game.
Evan Parrish getting the start for the Saints on the left side here at the cornerback spot. We saw him get turned in on each of the first 2 plays. He's got to be that funnel to push it in. So we'll watch him throughout the afternoon.
3rd down and 4 after the carry. Offense for Olivet Nazarene right around 40% on 3rd downs so far this season. 4 wide receivers, 3 left, 1 right. Garner in the shotgun this time. They're going to keep it on the ground on the draw play right up to the 39. It's going to be about a yard shy, or maybe a half a yard shy of that yard to gain line, and it will be 4th down for Olivet Nazarene. How do they like to go for it? Well, plenty. 13 for 27 on 4th down. It's about 48%, but they're deep in their own territory at their own 34-yard line.
Anything goes this week with both teams out of playoff contention.
St. Francis will get a false start. It's a free play, but there was contact made, so they're going to blow it dead. St. Francis wants a false start, but I think they're going to get the offside here on the Saints.
Yep.
Bryce Pollard, the freshman nose tackle for St. Francis, jumping a little early, giving a free set of downs to Olivet Nazarene to start this game. Penalties have been an issue. They've cleaned it up in the last couple of weeks, but probably far more penalties this season than Coach Curry would like.
Yeah, especially in those situations where you're giving a team a 1st down.
1st down for the Tigers at their own 40-yard line. Clap and snap. First pass of the game coming. They're going to look downfield, and it is taken away. Another interception for the Saints defense. The return is on for Wilder to about the 45-yard line. The Saints with another takeaway. They have been all over this season with interceptions. They're 15th as a team for Wilder, his first interception of the season.
Yeah, just got in front of the play, really played it out well. Sabian Wilder did. Got in front of the receiver, watched it from the quarterback, Caleb Gardner. And the Saints will have excellent field position to start their first drive. And again, a reminder, going with the wind are the Saints. So let's see how they take advantage of this.
And they're going to set up with Nate Mall in the pistol, but your tailback is Bew. they're going to line them up at running back here. 2 wide receivers right, tight end left is Friddle. Bew motions from the backfield to the left. Here on the first offensive play for the Saints. They're going to drop back, 5 out in routes. Nate looking deep downfield, launches one to Friddle, 1-on-1, and it's a bit overthrown. A lot of hand fighting there, but no flag called. It was a good play by Ronald Thomas, the cornerback guarding the taller Friddle. The ball may have been just a bit too tall there for Jake.
And now Nathan Mall comes off the field after that first play. So Carl Bew will step in at the quarterback spot.
Abubakar Berry will be the tailback as Bew takes over at quarterback. Friddle is the tight end right, 2 wide receivers left. Urisic, tight end left. There's the snap and the handoff to Berry. Only about a yard or 2 there. You're not going to see Carl Bew hand it off too often, but it's probably see it a little bit more early on in the game just to set things up for later.
Yeah, and we've seen Berry a lot and Larry Stringham. Larry, another player who will be out of action this afternoon. Saw him in street clothes this morning. And so it'll be Berry a lot along with Carl Bew in this 3rd and 8 situation.
Incomplete pass on first play, just a couple of yards on the run. Carl will fake it and go. Takes off, and he will be a yard shy of the yard to gain line. He got it to the Olivet 45. And it'll be 4th down and 1 for the Saints. You better believe they're going to go for it.
Yeah, a lot better field position than Olivet Nazarene, but nonetheless, I think the Saints just going to come.
No one is guarding Ryan Little right now. Now they do get a cornerback out there, but the size advantage is noticeable if they want to do that. Nope, they're going to go to Barry on the sweep left. Cut off in the backfield. That's a beautiful play by the safety, Hunter Alou, to come up and make the play for Olivet. That's a second turnover on downs of the game.
And that's a play where Barry's just got to, go vertical. He just decided to string it out. That enabled the linebackers for Olivet Nazarene to come in on him. And all he needed was 1 yard. He's got to cut in a lot quicker. He didn't, and led to a loss of a yard on that play. So,
and that's where you miss Larry Stringham. He is – I don't know if the guy has gone laterally very much at all this season. He is so good at getting vertical. There's a turnover on downs for the Saints. Olivet takes over near midfield, their second offensive possession of the game. Snap back to Garner. Handoff goes to the running back, Bennett. He's pushed out of bounds near the Saint 45. That's a gain of around 8 yards on the first play.
And Olivet Nazarene having some success. They picked up 5 yards on a previous play and then another 4 running to this near side. Saints shifting it up. We got Oxen Branch, who started as a wide receiver this year, playing as a cornerback as well this afternoon for the Saints.
You don't see a lot of very tall cornerbacks like Oxen. 6'4" freshman. Play action. You got a new quarterback in the game as that pass goes incomplete. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Caleb Garner. My bad. Still Caleb, but that does fall incomplete, so bringing up third down.
Just to drop pass. Wide receiver was open to that far sideline and just missed the catch, so it'll be 3rd and 2 situation. And if the Tigers don't get it here, I imagine they would go for it on 4th down when they went at their own 34-yard line.
Yeah, you see some atypical things when you play in the final game of a season and there's no playoffs in the horizon for both teams. They'll do some things just to have a little fun, I think. Handoff. Nope. Play action. Nice play action because it faked me out. That one's complete on the crossing route up to the 30. Spinning at the 25 is Olivet Nazarene's receiver inside the 25. They go. First big play of the game comes from Olivet into the hands of number 12, Keon Green, the wide receiver.
Yeah, Green just gets wide open. 23-yard pickup, cutting across the middle, had some room, and then took off with the speed that he has. Puts the ball at the St. Francis 22-yard line. 10:20 left to play first quarter. No score between the Saints and the Olivet Nazarene Tigers in the season finale for both teams.
Snap back to Garner.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground. It was a missed exchange between the quarterback and the running back, but Garner was able to jump on it for the Tigers back around the 27.
Be about a 3-yard loss.
Running back didn't know he was supposed to take that ball, I don't think. A little miscommunication there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Unfortunately, there were no Saints in the backfield. Otherwise, that might have been even more trouble for Olivet Nazarene with possibly their second turnover in as many possessions.
I believe that's running back Keyshawn Hughley, the senior, is the tailback right next to Garner in the shotgun. Big receiver Blake Lamb, the tight end, right. 3 receivers, 2 left, 1 right. There's the snap here on 2nd and long. Right up the gut goes Hughley, drugged down by 3 Saints inside the 5-yard line. Right around a 20-yard carry to get inside the red zone for the Olivet Tigers.
Yeah, just shot up right up the middle off that right guard, right tackle spot, found an opening. It was just surprising how big of an opening there was that time, and see if the Tigers come back with that same play on this play.
Same personnel. Hughley, the running back to the right of Garner, the quarterback. 3 wide receivers left, 1 right. Keep an eye for Blake Lamb. He's in the slot left here on 1st and goal from the 4 for the Tigers. Clap and snap. Quarterback keeper. Lead play, and he goes in untouched into the end zone for the first touchdown of the ballgame. 6-0 Tigers.
And that's something that the Saints are going to really have to clean up. That was another play where the quarterback was wide open between that right guard and right tackle spot. Led to the 23-yard pickup on the previous play, and now the 4-yard touchdown run here with 8:40 left to play in the first quarter.
You called a high-scoring game, so far so good for Dave's prediction here. Josiah Johnson on for the extra point. He's only missed 1 out of 25 tries. Strong win, though. He's kicking into the win on the extra point. This one is easy good. There's a couple of marching Tigers over there do the worm for celebration. 7-0 Tigers, 8:40 to go first quarter.
6 plays, 53 yards, 2 minutes, 54 seconds for that drive, and 2 big plays of 20-plus yards led to the touchdown, Nick.
Yep, run defense, usually a strength for that.
Especially against Marion a couple weeks ago, right? You know, and you look at the stats, the numbing numbers. That was one of the pregame notes. The Saints have outgained and outscored the opposition despite being 3-6. Mm-hmm. And obviously there were some big games against Madonna and Lawrence Tech and Judson. But still, it's amazing that you had a 3-6 record. Yep. And you had the numbers that you did. You had more total yards of offense, more rushing, and then more total points. And like we said, you know, we felt going into Siena Heights, did not win that game. And then, you know, you felt good going into the St. Xavier game, and then you don't score any points. Like I said, it's been like Jekyll and Hyde for the Saints this year.
All right, let's see if they give Carlview a chance here. Kickoff will be going into a pretty stiff wind. Carlview standing at his own 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-yard line
He's
now.
Getting a head start.
There's no way they kick him this football, right? Kicker Gabe Kaysan checks down the line. It's going to be a squib kick. It'll bounce to Barry. He looks like he might have thought about flipping it backward for about a second, but he does return it to the 34-yard line. That had definitely kicked away from number 1 there, and here comes number 1 likely at quarterback. We'll see who they want to send out there. We started the game with a pass for the Saints. That was out of the hands of Maul, but then the next couple of plays were Carlview. It looks like he's standing where the quarterback would stand in the huddle, so we'll see what happens.
Nathan Maul right behind, checking on what play they're going to call, and Maul going to stand right next to the offensive coordinator, Matt McCarthy. So I think you're going to see a lot of a combination platter here this afternoon.
Well, that makes it interesting, doesn't it? But it also kind of gives you a tell, doesn't it? If Maul's in there, he's likely throwing.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they want to play that. Carl in the pistol. Gavin Day behind him. There's the snap, play, action. Carl's going to keep it. Here came the blitz, though, and he was unable to get rid of it. Down way behind the line of scrimmage. A sack for Jalen Perkins, his 8th tackle for a loss, his 2nd sack. That one goes for about a loss of 10 yards.
Jalen comes up limping a little bit. We saw that last week late in the game, and that right leg giving him a little bit of trouble now, so that could be resulting in a change. Let's see how he manages that right leg.
Yeah, Carl's got to get rid of that ball. Friddle motions right to left in his tight end spot. Snap back to Carl, looking to throw, checks it down to Engstrom. Makes a catch for only about 7 yards. It's going to be 3rd down, and we'll say 14. 7:42 to go here first quarter. 7-0 Tigers. This is the second offensive possession for the Saints. 3rd and long here for Carlview and company. Blitzer looks like he's coming from Carl's left. They pointed out that's where he comes from. Right around the left tackle, and down he goes. You saw the blitz coming even from up here, but Hunter Alou went right around the Saints left tackle for a sack. 2nd sack on the possession, forcing a punt.
Yeah, not what you want out of the St. Francis offense. 3 plays in punt, and 2 of those were sacks.
Adrian Guerrero on with this kind of win, and the way he can spin it, we might get some pretty long punts here from Adrian the first quarter here. Snap back to Adrian's a good one. The kick is away. It's an end-over-end kick, aided by the wind. It'll be fair caught at the 32 of the Tigers. Return man, Japeth Lilo out of Hawaii. A lot of Hawaiian representation on this Tigers roster. We were talking to some of the staff here at Olivet. They have a concerted effort going out to Hawaii and some of the other Pacific areas trying to recruit, not only for sports but academics as well, just to get get some kids on campus, and it seems to be working pretty well for them. Quite a few Hawaiian football players on the Tiger squad. First down for, nope, that's not Gardner. Now we do have a new quarterback, eh? Thank you. That's Jack Miller, the senior, stepping in.
Yeah, and Miller, very similar to Gardner in terms of the number of passing attempts that he's had throughout the season. Not as much of a running quarterback as Gardner was.
Yep, much more passing yards. Handoff on the ground. It's Aaron Bennett trying to fight through tackles and does. Stiff arms back to the outside, gets some blocking help and takes it past the 45. It should have been a 4 or 5 yard pickup, but he broke some tackles and made it about 13 out to the 46-yard line.
Now, actually, that was on the second effort. He was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and then they had him again, like you said, about 4 or 5 yards down the field. He broke free from that, and fortunately, one of the Saints got him as the last gaps. Otherwise, he could have went for about a 65-yard touchdown.
This could be a long game if the Saints don't get off some blocks and make some tackles.
Instead, it was an 11-yard pickup.
Miller, clap and snap. Play action, looking downfield. Nothing there. The pocket collapses, and down he goes. First sack of the game for the Saints. It's going to be a loss of, we'll say a loss of 1 on the play.
Yeah, good coverage that time for the Saints. Blake Lamb, the tight end, was one of the men going out that time, and I think the quarterback was Miller was looking for him primarily. He was not open, so he had to take the sack. So it'll be 2nd and 11 here for Olivet Nazarene at its own 45-yard line.
Saints going with that 4-man front. They'll mix it up. They'll go 3-man front, 4-man front sometimes, and now they got 4 linemen, 2 linebackers. Here comes a blitz from the Saints. They dial it up right on the run play, but again, some more broken tackles past the 50-yard line. And a nice run up to the 40, we'll say 48. Nice run by Laiwea Kana-Travis, a freshman.
Yeah, the Saints doing a good job right now. They weren't on the last series where Olivet Nazarene was running to the right side. They sort of bottled it up, but then the running back's been able to escape a couple times here. This one, a gain of about 8 yards, setting up a 3rd and 4 situation for the Tigers.
St. Francis with those 4 linemen, 2 linebackers. Blitz coming again from the Saints. There's the clap and snap. Blitz comes. They ran away from the blitz this time with Travis, but right into the hands of a couple of defensive linemen for a gain of 2. 4th down and 3 on the way.
Be interesting to see what the Tigers do here. It looks like they're going to punt. Yep.
Gavin Lentz, the punter, comes out. It's kind of prime fake punt territory. And again, with this being the last game of the year, you can't take anything for granted here. There will be punting into the wind. Connor Engstrom standing at his own 20 for the Saints to return.
Yeah, you want to have a low line drive kick this afternoon if you're going into the wind.
See if Connor gets an opportunity here. Snap is good. Punt is away. It's a high spiraling punt. Connor Engstrom has to go way back and make an over-the-shoulder catch at the 8-yard line. That is a heck of a punt into the wind for Lentz. Averaging about 39 yards per punt. He's put 10 of them inside the 20, and you can make that 11.
So good job by the Saints making the adjustment that time. Again, we saw some gaps in that defensive front line on the left side that led to the touchdown. This time the Tigers get 1 first down and then get stopped, but the Saints have a long way to go. Start at their own 10-yard line with 4:06 left to play here in the opening quarter, and the Saints trailing 7-0.
Nate Mall, the quarterback, and Aaron Larkins, in at running back. Larkins gets the football, makes one-man miss, bounces outside of the 15, and he's wrapped up with an arm on the back of his jersey and swung out of bounds around the 18. It's going to be close to a first down. The flag on the opposite side of the field. Larkins ran left, but the flag is near the sideline right.
Encroachment on Olivet Nazarene. So see what they do here. You either have 2nd and 3 or 1st and 5. So you're going to take question. 7 yards and
I kind of go with the yard. Yeah, they're going to decline it.
Yeah.
They're going to decline the penalty. So instead of 1st and 5, 2nd and 3 on the 7-yard carry on the first The first carry for Aaron Larkins today. Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Tigers. Larkins again behind Maul. You got Ryan Little to the right, looks like, and Hackman here wide left. Snap to Maul. He's going to bootleg right. Nothing open downfield. He's going to take it himself and pick up the necessary 3 yards to move the chains. Good job by Nate to see what was open and take it.
Yep, exactly. You know, looking downfield as long as he could, but he knew he only needed 3 yards to pick up the first down and saw where the marker was and got the first down. So the first down of the afternoon for the Saints.
Sun poking through the clouds here momentarily as the Saints set up for their own. They didn't get the first down. Third down and 1. Yeah, I'm surprised he went out of bounds so easily. Went out the first. He's going to drop back and throw here on third. He passes underneath, and it's incomplete. It was knocked away, bringing up 4th down. Looking for Kevin Holland, who, if he caught it, would have been his first catch of the year. But now they have to punt.
Yeah, the official on the previous play actually marked. We thought he was marked out at the 20 or 21, and they marked him out just before that at the 19, and that's what led to the 3rd and 1 situation.
Adrian Guerrero on to give it another boot. 3:10 to go. 7-0 Tigers.
Sun coming out.
Yeah, it's not quite in the face of the returner. There's the punt. Low line drive. It'll take a bounce at the 48 into the St. Francis bench on the far side. And it'll be Olivet football right around the 42, 43-yard line or so, depending on where the official marks it. With 3:03 to go here. First quarter, 7-0 Tigers. Carl Bew, Nate Mall splitting time at quarterback here today.
So 3 series for the Saints now, Nick. Going with the wind and no first downs through the first 12 minutes.
See who's going to be quarterback for Olivet this time. Looks like they're going back to their starter, Caleb Garner.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a combination of their 2 quarterbacks as well this afternoon.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right, 1 tailback. Play action. Garner's going to keep it. Safety has to come up to make the play and does. But still, there's a pickup of 8 on the play. St. Francis tackle made by, I believe that was Evan Parrish.
Yep. Evan playing one of those safety positions. Thought he was at cornerback initially, but he's playing one of those safety and combination, actually. A little bit of corner, a little bit of safety.
They give him 7, so 2nd down and 3 at the Saint 48-yard line. 2:30 to go first quarter. They're going to flip the formation now with the ball in the right hash. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Tailback to the left of Garner, the quarterback in the shotgun. St. Francis rushes 3. Plenty of time for Gardner. Now the pocket breaks down, scrambles right, looks downfield, finds Blake Lamb in some space, sprints left, finally hit around the 29, and it's going to take around 4 Saints to put him down around the 27-yard line. Another big chunk play for the Tigers. That one on a broken play.
Yeah, exactly. And the quarterback that time got away from the initial line that was coming at him. And then it looked like he was going to run the ball, so the man who was on Blake Lamb actually came up to start to come and get the tackle of the quarterback. Instead, the quarterback just dropped it off to Blake Lamb, and he picks up 20 yards, puts the ball at the St. Francis 27. So Olivet Nazarene on the march here. Closing minutes of the first quarter.
Same formation, 3 wideouts right, 1 left. Play action. Here comes some pressure. Throwing on the run. He just throws it out of bounds into the Tiger bench. Incomplete on first down. Good pressure applied that time. Had to manufacture a bit of a blitz pressure.
Yeah, the Saints, since that touchdown drive, have gotten in the backfield. They just have to get that quarterback or make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and that's something they haven't been doing.
It looked like they sent Savion Wilder on the blitz from his safety spot to get some pressure. Savion has an interception earlier this quarter. 1:40 to go. First quarter, 7-0 Tigers, but they're threatening here inside the 30. Already several 20-plus yard plays here in this quarter. Handoff, inside carry, and again a great first or second down run, running inside, picking up about 6 yards on the play.
3rd and 5 here. More than likely 2-down territory. Not sure they would attempt a field goal from this distance.
Into the wind.
Yeah.
Nakoa Kana Travis, the ball carrier, getting his first carry, and he'll be to the right of Garner. Tight end Lamb, tight to the line right. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 3rd down and 5 from the 23. Snap to Garner. He wants to throw. Here comes the blitz. They go deep into the end zone. It is caught. Is he in bounds? Yes, he is. A beautiful throw on the boundary, far side for the touchdown. Ray Coffey picks up his 8th touchdown of the season. And you don't compete with some of the big dogs in the NAIA with Marion and Indiana Wesleyan just because your quarterback's good. That helps, but they got so much more talent around him, and we're starting to see that both on the offensive line and running back spot. You just saw Ray Coffey from the wide receiver corps. 13-0 with the extra point coming up for the Tigers. Josiah Johnson fires it through. Looks good from here. And it is 14-0, under a minute to go here, first quarter. Saints offense struggling a bit today.
5 plays, 55 yards, 2 minutes, 9 seconds, Nick. And again, we talked about Olivet Nazarene in the first quarter going against the wind, and they have the 14 points, and the Saints have yet to produce a first down. Olivet Nazarene with 4, I believe it's 4, double checking, 4 offensive plays of 20-plus yards already.
And I expected a few of those through the air with the weapons that they have, but I'm a bit surprised at how well they've been running the football against the Saints.
And this time on the kickoff, and this talks about maybe the injury to Carl Bew, Connor Engstrom back deep for the Saints right now.
Good observation. No Carl to return the kick. That means if Carl's not there, he must be really hurt, because that's what it would take to keep him off the field.
He was on the sideline after that last series, and he's still trying to stretch out that leg. He might actually be coming out to be the quarterback. He's got a ball in his hand right now.
Oh.
He's at about the 42. Maybe just conserving him for the offense rather than special teams as well.
That'd be kind of a surprise.
Yeah, he's right at the 42. Yeah. See what he does here.
We're still watching Carl Bew, and he's not even on the field. You just can't keep your eyes off him. Taking plenty of time here to get this kick underway. Here we go. Kickoff in the air. It'll be Engstrom backpedaling to the 10. Here's the return for Connor. Does he have any magic in him? Tried to sidestep through, but tripped up around the 23. Let's see if number 1 comes out here for quarterback. I don't know there, Coach.
Yeah, he's still there at the 30, so it'll be Nathan Mall. Because, again, as we mentioned in the pregame, Johnny Sorensen out. He got hurt as well. We saw like almost back-to-back plays. Remember last week, Carl Bew and Johnny Sorensen getting back-to-back leg injuries.
Linebacker comes off left, but here comes a blitz to the right of Nate. They throw that way, and he finds Little for the first chunk play for the Saints. That's a pickup of 17 and a first down to the Saint 41-yard line.
First down for the Saints, and obviously when you got Ryan Little on the field, he is a weapon just like Carl Bew and some of the other Saints here.
Ryan Little, 47 catches, over 700 yards on the season now. Here's Barry looking for a hole. He's got a bit awkwardly wrapped up on the inside run. He picked up 3. 2nd and 7 coming up, and he popped right back up. No harm done.
And that is probably going to be the last play of the first quarter unless the Saints get one more in. Clock ticking, 6, 5.
Got the win.
4, 3. We're going to try to get one more in here.
1, and they do
nope.
not. I think Nate Mall was clapping, trying to get the play off before the clock went to zeros, but didn't quite get it. So now they're going to have to flip and try to throw into the wind, which you can probably hear coming through your speakers here in Bourbonnais. Beautiful day, a bit windy. 14-0. The Tigers on top, looking for their 6th win to try to end this season above 500 with second-year head coach Avante Mitchell, which if you are an MSFA football fan, that name should ring a bell. Kind of bounced around the MSFA over the last few years. He was the head coach up at Lawrence Tech before coming to Olivet Nazarene last year. Spent some time out in Michigan at Concordia Ann Arbor, down in Indiana at Taylor. So he's an MSFA football guy and now trying to lead this Tiger program.
Checking out some of the first quarter numbers, Mr. Nick. The Saints got that first down just moments ago. Olivet Nazarene has 7. Rushing yards, 72 for Olivet, just 3 for the Saints due to the 2 sacks of 9 and 6 yards. Receiving yards, 66 for Olivet, 23 for the Saints. So total offense, 138 on 19 plays for Olivet, just 26 on 12 plays for the Saints. So a difference of about 5 yards per play. And both teams with about exactly the same time of possession. The Saints 0 for 3 on 3rd down, 0 for 1 on 4th down, while Olivet Nazarene is 2 for 4 on 3rd down.
Flip sides, here's the all-out blitz. They throw it, trying to get it to Little on the quick slant. I think he completed it, and he picked up about 3, maybe 4 yards to the 47-yard line.
I'll tell you what, that was quite the grab because I think the cornerback really had Ryan Little's right arm tugged underneath, and Little was able to make the catch. On average, he makes at least 1 catch a game that's one-handed, and there's your first one.
3rd down play, they go back to Ryan. Number 4 makes the catch inside Olivet territory, and it's going to be close to a first down. They need to get to the 49. It'll be a first down.
It'll be, yep.
They needed to get to the 49. And
where are they marking it?
Oh, wow. All the way up to the 46-yard line. Okay.
That is a really bad spot.
We'll take it. It benefits the Saints on that one. First
sure.
down. Here comes the blitz again. They give to Barry, and he had no chance. They brought everybody right up the middle as if they knew Barry was about to get that ball. It's going to be no gain, maybe a loss of 1 for Barry. Yep. Well, actually, they lose 2. So 2nd down and 12. Barry will be behind Maul in the pistol. He'll take a step to Maul's left. 13:38 to go in the first half. Throw out into the flat, has Friddle. Tries to make a move, goes up and under to the 40, trying to fight for the first down. He'll pick up at least 10, and he'll be a bit short. So 3rd down and 2 coming up after the pitch out to Friddle in the flat. He just made something happen after the catch.
Yeah, for sure. He actually caught it at the original line of scrimmage, got by 1 tackler, ducked underneath him, and then was able to pick up another 8 yards. So 10-yard pickup after the 2-yard loss creates for a 3rd and 2 situation at the Olivet Nazarene 32.
Snap to Maul on 3rd and short. They go fade over to the left, and it is caught, I believe it's at Hackman on the far side for the first down. Nice back shoulder toss by Nate Maul out to Hackman for his first catch of the game, and another first down for the Saints.
Another 13-yard pickup. The Saints have a lot more success, even with the passing game, going against the wind.
If that safety doesn't come over to Ryan Little's side, you'd throw that to him. And keep it on the ground to Larson's. Almost fumbled it, but gets it back. Stiff arms, up the sideline he goes. A blocker ahead, pushed out of bounds. Shy of the touchdown, but it'll be 1st and goal for the Saints, but an injury as well. Looks like one of the offensive linemen for the Saints is a bit slow to get up. Is that David Smith?
I believe it's, let's see here. I think it might be, is it? Yeah, I think you're right. I think it might be David Smith.
David Smith. 6'3", 310-pound freshman out of Eisenhower in Blue Island. Playing all over the offensive line this year as a freshman.
3 straight plays, Nick. 10, 13, and now 15 yards.
12:39 to go first half. It's 14-0 Olivet Nazarene, but Saints marching the best-looking drive of the afternoon so far. And the other game we're keeping an eye on in the MSFA, what could end up being pretty important if St. Xavier can pull out a win against Marion, which is, unlikely, but we've seen some pretty tough games so far this year from some of these top teams. If St. Xavier can pull off a win over Marion, we're going to have a three-way tie at the top of the Midwest. It'll come down to tiebreakers, but the top three teams have all beaten each other. So they're going to have to go to the second step tiebreaker, which I wrote down, but I can't exactly get removed it at the last second. I'm not sure. What is the second level tiebreaker in the MSFA? Because it's record, it's head-to-head, but if everyone beats each other, there's another metric that they use. But we'll have to come back to that if St. Xavier can hang with Marion today on the south side. Larkins gets the handoff on 1st and goal, but the defense flies to him for no gain. It's 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line. Technically a loss of a yard on the Larkins handoff. This is just prime little territory here. But you got to give him a chance. We've seen this before. You got to get it in the air for Ryan if you want to go his way. And he's going to be single covered here too.
Yep. To the left
Snap
side.
Back to Nate. They're going to lob it up for Little into the end zone. Just a bit too much. I'm actually surprised it wasn't. He didn't get a hand on that one because it looked like to be a pretty decent pass actually from Nathan Mall.
And the cornerback that was on the coverage is down in the end zone with an injury.
And Ronald Thomas trying to go one-on-one with Ryan Little on the outside, which is surprising. There wasn't a ton of contact.
No.
He didn't knock him over. And it looked like an upper body type injury, which is a little bit strange and kind of concerning, I guess, as well. Hopefully Ron Thomas for Olivet is okay, the corner.
11:54 left to play, second quarter. Olivet Nazarene, 2 scores in the opening quarter. Saints on the drive here, though. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 11-yard line.
Trying to pull up the score for St. Xavier and Marion, but they haven't started, even though the game was scheduled to start about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Let's see if we can pull up.
Let's get our crack team on this, can we? Here? Our production team. Look into that for us because we're just begging to know what's going on with that SXU Marion game. You got Marion at the top of the conference right now, 4-0. Then you got St. Francis, Indiana, and St. Xavier at 3-1. So if St. Xavier beats Marion, everyone is 4-1. We expect St. Francis, Indiana to beat Judson today. But then you look at the tiebreakers; they've all beaten each other. So we'll have to keep an eye on.
No video either, so maybe they don't have officials.
3rd down and goal. Here's Nate Mall. Looked down low, but tried to check it down, but Larkins dropped it in the flat, bringing up 4 down. You got to think Adrian's going to come out here. Or, I don't know, it's the last game of the season.
It'll be interesting. This is not going to be, let's see, it's going to be a 28-yard field goal attempt. And like I said, with this win, it could get tricky. So you got to be careful here.
Guerrero's been good. He's hit from 21, 42, 43, 46, 37. So this is well within his range, but he's got to keep it under control as he kicks into a pretty stiff wind here in Bourbonnais. It's going to be a 29-yard field goal from the left hash. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is on the way. Plenty of leg. Did he hook it in there? He did. Nice kick by Adrian, but a flag comes out at the end of the play. We'll have to check out the laundry here as well. According to Peyton Norton, the center, it's on Olivet Nazarene.
Yeah, and I think, running into the kicker.
Well, so is that a first down? Well, no, it's not a first down.
Yeah, I think that's a 5-yard penalty, so the Saints
are
going to take the points.
Yep. First points of the game for St. Francis on the board off the right foot of Adrian Guerrero, who what I would argue the most improved player for St. Francis this year. He was the kicker last year. He was, and I think he would probably tell you the same thing, inconsistent at best, but this year he hasn't missed an extra point. He's hit career longs and field goals, and now is 9 for 12 kicking field goals this year, 39 extra points in a row. The guys in punting, he has given St. Francis excellent, pinned defenses and given St. Francis defense a good field position to work from. Adrian's been amazing this year.
I couldn't agree with you more. He's done incredible things, and as you know, he's also the Saints' leading scorer. 58 points now, I believe. He came in with 55, if I'm not mistaken. And like you said, 9 out of 12 on field goals. I think he missed more than that a year ago. I think he was successful on less than half of his field goals a year ago. Has done a much better job, like you said, on punts, more consistent there. And he occasionally can make a good tackle as well as have a nice 10 or 15-yard run.
Yeah, he'll mix it up when he needs to. This is an onside kick from the Saints. It's loose, and it is picked up by St. Francis. Did it go the requisite 10? It sure did. That should be Saints' ball.
But I think the Saints are going to be called for offsides.
Oh, that was a great kick, and they were all over it. Olivet had no idea it was coming. But it looks like it might be coming back. Where's the flag?
It was right where the guy is standing at the 35, and then there's another one here at the 30.
A great onside call. It was executed almost to perfection if it wasn't for the offside. 11:41 to go.
So they'll have to
re-kick
kick from the 30.
Yep.
15, Barry with the being offsides.
You just can't have it happen, especially on an onside kick like that.
Oh, that was a play, that we saw again. Not as much of a difference, but where Siena Heights did it when they were down, and they were still down, and then what they do, they ran off 17 points in a row, and it led to the victory. And St. Francis had control of that up until the onside kick.
And the penalties for St. Francis, we've talked about it before, the number of them is concerning, but the timing of them is even more concerning. It's wiped off touchdowns and big plays almost every year. Look at the Wind take this one. Fair catch called for at the 34-yard line. The Wind significantly affecting the kickoff from Guerrero. He probably would have been better suited to keep that a lone line drive, but he put it in the air, and the Wind knocked it down pretty significantly. Decent field position for the Olivet Nazarene Tigers with Caleb Garner and Jack Miller as their quarterbacks. It'll be Garner to start off this possession. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen the Tigers offense. And the Saints only end up with 3 points for it. 3 receivers left, 1 right here on first down for the Tigers. They're going to mark it at their own 35 officially. Aaron Bennett back at running back. They've already run quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players have run the ball for the Tigers. Here comes some pressure, but Garner escapes the sack past the 40 to the 45. About out of bounds right near midfield or so. They're going to put it at the 47-yard line. A pickup of 12. Had him dead to rights as the pocket collapsed, but Garner escapes for the first down. Garner comes off. Ray Coffey, the wide receiver, comes on for the Tigers. Already has a touchdown catch. He'll actually set up as a running back right now, though. 7 players have a rushing attempt for the Tigers already. First down at the 47 for Olivet Nazarene. 4 linemen for the Saints defense. Snap and give to Coffey out of the backfield. He's hit behind the line. Just make sure you finish the tackle there. And the Saints defense does. A host of them. Carson Hansen among them. Along with the Saints, Nico Freck as well. So they gain a yard on the play. Second down and 9 after the Coffey carry. I don't know if they have many NIL deals, but there's got to be a coffee place around here in Bourbonnais where Ray could have got some NIL money, huh?
Possibly.
4 wideouts on the field, 2 on each side. Left hash of the 47. Second and 9 for the Tigers. Saints will blitz from the edges. They get the ball off in time and wide open on the right boundary. The connection is made, but the question now is going to be forward progress. They're going to give them the yard past the first down to gain line. He needed 8. He got 9, and another first down for the Tigers through the air. Nice quick trigger by Garner, the quarterback. Under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. First down for the Tigers inside St. territory to the 42. Corner is going to come up tight on the receivers for the Tigers, at least on the perimeters. There's a snap back to Garner. He's looking, plenty of time. Fires downfield, looking long, and he overthrew that by about 15 yards. He was looking for Trey Reeves, who had a step on, I believe that was Wilder, on the seam route, but incomplete. Third down.
Saints have brought a little bit more pressure this time, we've seen, so let's see what they do on 2nd and 10 here.
Hughley, the running back now to the right of Garner. 9:25 to go first quarter. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass at the Saint 42. Saints four down linemen, and they will rush just the 4. Linebackers hang back, trying to get to the right back.
Good job.
They do. Could it be
Marcelo?
Break. Got to have the sunglasses ready. On third down, tripped at the 35-yard line. It won't be enough. They'll give him the 36, but it does turn 3rd and long into 4th and manageable here. 4th down and 2-minute warning out here in Bourbonnais, 21-3. Take a look. We saw some of the numbers for St. Francis offensively. They really having a tough time trying to move the football. But for Olivet Nazarene, Caleb Gardner, 8 for 12, 121 yards, couple touchdowns, does have an interception. On the ground for Olivet, Aaron Bennett leads the way, 4 carries for 30 yards. Krishawn Hughley, 3 carries for 27. The quarterback, Gardner, has carried it 8 times for 12 yards, been sacked a few times as well. We've also seen carries from Sean Payne, Brett Dieter, Ray Coffey, Jack Miller, everyone getting in on the action for the Tigers carrying the football. All right, here we go. 2nd down and 14 for the Saints, deep in their own territory. Couple of running backs now to protect Carl Bew. Snap and
fumble.
Fumble. It goes right into Carl's hands. Makes a few miss before he's leveled around the 22-yard line. He picked up about 5 after the broken play. It's going to be 3rd down, and Carl took a shot at the end of that play. Yeesh. And another timeout. Does it go as a fumble technically, or
no,
just bobbled it? It never hit the
just
ground?
Bobbled it.
Yeah.
He almost broke that one.
He did. It'll be 3rd and somewhat manageable now after the holding penalty on 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 8 from around the 23. Or 22-yard line, I should say. 1:56 to go here in the first half. Taking a look at the schedule, is it? I know you put a note in the game notes about next year's schedule. Did you say it was going to be the exact same as this year, or the exact same as last year?
It should be the exact same as this year, just flip-flopped, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
It's usually a 2-year cycle, and this was the first year of that 2-year cycle. Now, with Siena Heights moving on, St. Mary of the Woods College is coming in. They were a sprint football team for a number of years. So I would guesstimate that they're just going to take the spot of Siena Heights.
3rd down play, handoff to Barry. Had a little room, but he can't break the tackle. He's tracked down at the 24, only able to get 2 yards as he tried to sprint right to the edge. He couldn't turn the corner. I would have loved to see him plant that foot and go with that linebacker pursuing as hard as he was. You feel like you could have made a break on him, but instead he tried to race him to the sideline and he lost the race. It's going to be 4th down and 6.
Yeah, not much time. As you said, St. Francis calling a couple timeouts there. So Olivet Nazarene, after this 4th down play, will have a chance to add to its 21-3 lead.
And they're going to have a pretty good chance, too, because Adrian's going to have to punt into this wind, which is been pretty good. What did you say, around 15, 18 miles an hour or so?
Yep.
Pretty consistent wind, too. All right, Adrian's out there to punt it away. There is nobody back to return or catch. So if he gets a good bounce here, that could really help. I think they're yelling like, hey, we need to get a returner out there. Olivet's sideline is losing their mind right now.
They're going to have to call timeout.
Yep, there is nobody back there to return the punt. If they can snap the ball here. There's the snap. No one's back to return.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great punt by Adrian, and he gets a good bounce on it. Olivet just made a mistake here, and it's going to roll to the 32-yard line. No one was back to return the punt.
Surprised they did not call a timeout.
Right. They could have saved him about 20 yards with 1:40 to go in the half. They have 2 timeouts. Or one maybe they didn't want to waste their last timeout, I guess.
So they have a minute and 40 seconds left.
Plenty of time for this offense, who's already put up several plays over 20 yards. And with the wind at their back, Caleb Garner, the senior quarterback, in for their starter, Christian Dew Reed, who was injured a few weeks ago against St. Francis, Indiana, missed the game last week at SXU. Here's first down for Garner and the Tigers. 3 wideouts left, 1 to the right. Saints will just rush the 3 and drop 8.
Get him.
Almost got him. That one's pitched and caught for a completion to the 42-yard line. That is close to a first down. If it's not, it's only about an inch away.
Yep, they're going to give it to him.
Yep, it's Andy Vogelman, his first catch of the game on the crossing route. Minute and a half to go. Clock winding. First down for the Tigers at their own 42. Garner takes a snap. Rush comes from the middle. Gets rid of it in stride. It is complete to the 45. Only about a yard or 2 to be had there. Nice job by Baranowski to bring him down. No yards after the catch.
Oxen Branch there as well.
Keon Green, the receiver, with the stop, will bring a stoppage of play as well with a timeout with 1:12 to go.
Timeout, Olivet Nazarene.
As you hear.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1:14.
I'm going to put a few more seconds back on the clock. 1:14 to go here in the half. 21-3, and like it's been for these Saints, this offense has just been struggling against any non-Judson opponent in the last 3-4 months or so. You take a look at the scores in the last couple of weeks for St. Francis against teams like St. Francis, Indiana, Marion, St. Xavier, even all the way back to that Wesleyan game. That actually probably was the best game they played against quality opponents, putting up 31 against Indiana Wesleyan. But then it's been, they didn't score at all against St. Xavier, 11 points against Marion, which, fun fact you threw into the game notes, the first time in 40 years the Saints have scored exactly 11 points. And then St. Francis, Indiana scored 42-24, had a couple of touchdowns in that one, thanks to Carl Bew in that second half. And special teams. 1:14 to go out of the timeout. Second down and 7. Ball at the Olivet 45. Snap back to Garner. 4-man rush for the Saints. Flings it through the air just a bit. Overthrown. Had a man open behind the defense. It was number 7, Christian Warren again, but overthrew him just a touch.
Yeah, Gardner doing good on the short passing game. The long game, again, not being in there as often as you'd like as a, first-year quarterback in the program here at Olivet Nazarene, transfer junior, and just doesn't have that timing yet. Again, the inconsistent play that he's had leads to those types of situations.
Third down and 7. St. Francis bringing the blitz. They get rid of it quick to the boundary, but the pass takes him out of bounds at the St. 49. It's a yard shy of the first. It's going to be 4th down and 1. You expect them to go for it here with 1:04 on the clock. Clock stopped as the player went out of bounds.
If the Saints can get a stop here, they've got a chance.
Yep. Saints have 2 timeouts if they want to use them. 4th and 1 at the St. 49. Here for the Tigers. 4 wide receivers. Bennett, the tailback. They're going to throw here on 4th and 1, and they just got a play dialed up for that one. They go to the flat for the first down, all the way up to the 40. They needed 1. They picked up 8.
No timeouts left, so Olivet Nazarene quickly gets to the line of scrimmage.
And they will roll the clock. First down at the St. 40. They will clock the ball. 53 seconds to go as Olivet stops the clock. I'm kind of surprised. Probably could have ran a few more plays before that was necessary, but let's see what they dial up here on second down. Snap back to Garner here on 2nd and 10. Pressure gets there, but he gets rid of it in time, but it was dropped, intended for Ray Coffey, their sure-handed wide receiver.
Yeah, Coffey just coming across from the right side over the middle, was open, and ball was a little bit behind it, but still a ball he should have caught. And it'll make for a 3rd and 10 situation here for Olivet Nazarene, already up 21-3. It's under a minute to play here in the second quarter.
Third down. Let's see if St. Francis wants to dial up a blitz here or drop in coverage. What do you think? 3 linemen and Hansen, the linebacker, on the line. They're going to rush 4. Hansen drops off, though. They're going to go deep to the left side. Incomplete again. Overthrown, intended for Lilo, and brings up 4th and 10 with 43 seconds to go.
And,
Saints
if I
have 2
was Olivet
timeouts.
Nazarene right now, I would probably bring on the punt team.
I would, too.
And here they come.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to go for it on 4th down and give St. Francis a 55-yard field when they can give them possibly a 95-yard field, or at minimum a 75-yard. Oh, they're going to go for it.
A field goal, yeah. So you're lining up for 45.
57-yard field goal.
Why not? 57-yarder with a pretty stiff wind at the back of our kicker. They're going with the big leg of Lentz, I believe. Delay a game, so that's going to take the field goal off the table. I think Olivet wanted the play clock to reset, but referees disagreed. Now the punt unit should come on. It was the punter, Gavin Lentz, who was lining up for the field goal try.
Yeah, their long was 35 yards this year.
Like I said, you get into one, you use the wind, and hey, you never know. Lentz stays on the field, but will punt it instead of place kick it. Return man, is that Engstrom?
Yep.
Connor standing at the 10-yard line. Snap back is a good one to Lentz. He'll put the point down, loft this one in the air. It's a beautiful punt. Bouncing at the 2, but it took a St. Francis hop out of the back of the end zone. Thank you very much. If that one had a reverse bounce to it, Saints would have been in trouble. Probably would have seen some knees, and we'll probably still see some knees, I would imagine. 2 timeouts if they want to use them, 35 seconds. Just depends how confident Matt McCarthy is here. It's halftime in Chicago as well. Marion leads St. Xavier 17-0. 72 total yards for St. X, 189 from Marion. Well, they're not in kneel-down formation. Carl Bew will run some offense here. First down for the Saints. St. Francis 2 timeouts, none remaining for the Tigers. Carl takes a snap, bit low, play action, pressure. He's going to run it and go. He's got plenty of room. Easy first down. Carl takes it all the way to the 44-yard line, maybe more, depending on where they spot it. A big play by Carl to get near midfield, and all you got to do is give Adrian a chance, but if you're going to give Adrian a chance, you probably got to get down to the 10 with this wind.
23-yard pickup for Carl Bew that time. Great job of blocking by Ryan Little, the wide receiver on that left side, and that enabled Bew to get the 23 yards.
Pistol formation for Carl. He'll take the snap and look to throw again. 3-step drop, flings it left for Little, and he makes the catch inside the 40-yard line. Another back shoulder throw and a beautiful catch
And
by
another
Ryan Little at the 37.
22-yard play, 23, and now 22, and that puts the ball at the Olivet Nazarene 35-yard line. 21 seconds left here in the first half.
Throw it to number 4. If he's single coverage, it should be automatic.
Let's go deep on this one, huh?
That safety edging over that way for the Tigers this time, and he will cover Ryan Little. So that means Carl's going to keep it. Get out of bounds there, Carl. He does around the 28-yard line, a pickup of around 8. 14 seconds to go. Clock stops.
Well, you really like to get into the end zone, not just settle for a field goal here. And again, the Saints will have the ball to start the third quarter. So if you can put a 7 spot on the board, it makes it 21-10, and you get the ball back, and you got a little bit of momentum.
2nd and 3, 28-yard line here for the Saints inside Tiger territory. Carl Bew looking good here on this drive. Looking to his right, he takes a snap. Nothing open downfield. He's going to roll right. He better hurry and decide. He fires it out of bounds to preserve the down. 3rd down and 3 coming up after the incomplete pass. Clock stopped at 6 seconds. Now you got a decision to make here.
Yeah, do you go all out for the touchdown, or do you get one pass play that goes for about 15 yards, get out of bounds, and then get one strike? Carl tends to analyze things a little bit longer, so that's why I'm almost thinking that you've got one play left. He doesn't get rid of the ball right away.
I think you're right as well. I think you just fire this one into the end zone, and hopefully Ryan Little can come down with it. Corners are going to give some space to the wideouts, and a timeout by the Saints. They got 2 left. Now make it 1, as Matt McCarthy and company will talk this one over. Yeah, I like the Hail Mary to the end zone here as well. And Adrian's got no shot at kicking a field goal here from this distance with this wind. And if you want to get a 15-yard crossing route that goes out of bounds and then kick a field goal, which would still be a tough field goal with the wind, there's just a lot that can go wrong there. Yeah, I'd probably just put this into the end zone on Ryan Little's side, and hopefully the big guy from Lockport can come down with it.
And how about the Porters in the third round of the postseason for football? First time in a long time. Got some good quality players currently on the Saints here too.
Of course, Nick Franciscovich, who's injured today and had a great career at linebacker out of Lockport here for the Saints. Kevin Holland, the wide receiver. Rob Baranowski, who's made his presence felt already today. 3rd down, 6 seconds to go. They're going to go with the quick pass to the right. They're going to try what you suggested. Out of bounds around the 20-yard line, complete to the Lockport wide receiver, Kevin Holland. That's going to set up Adrian Guerrero, I guess, for a try here.
39-yarder.
39 yards. So the line of scrimmage, the 22. Holder will be at the 39 for Adrian Guerrero. Right-footed kicker, ball right hash into a pretty stiff wind with 2 seconds to go. He's going to have to get all of this one and try not to let it get in the air too much. Timeout Saints. They're going to ice their own kicker. No.
I don't know if they're going to go for the kick or think about running a play here.
What do you think? I mean, I don't know. I with the way that Adrian, kicks field goals, this is going to be a challenge. I think he tends to get the ball in the air quite a bit, which is going to be very difficult with this wind. But I don't know. Is that any more difficult than hoping for a Hail Mary?
Yeah, I'm not certain why there is a timeout called here, to be honest with you.
Play clock was at around 7 seconds. Maybe they wanted just to.
Maybe that's what the case was, because there's not any changes going on. Head coach Joe Curry in the huddle.
Say, Adrian, kick the ball real hard. Or do you fake it? All right, lined up for this 39-yard try for Guerrero. He's already hit from 43, 46. He's got the leg on a normal day, but the wind's pretty tough here today. kicking into the teeth of this wind. Good snap, holds down, kicks up. It gets stuck in the wind. Doesn't have enough to climb over the goalpost. It does. Sneaks it over the crossbar. If that crossbar was a yard further away, it probably would have curled back and missed it, but he had just enough to make the field goal. How about that? 21-6, Saints going to the locker room. No touchdowns, but 2 Adrian Guerrero field goals. Trailing Olivet Nazarene here on the road as we go into halftime, 21-6. We'll take a breather, come on back with some halftime numbers in the second half of the season finale for the Fighting Saints on the USF Sports TV network.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the field, please welcome the Olivet Nazarene University Tiger Marching Band. The band is led on the field by drum majors Madison Albert, Ryan Williams, Elise Green, and Remington Schlehan. The Tiger Marching Band would like to recognize its seniors. As we do so, please hold your applause until the final senior has been recognized. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we recognize the senior class of the 2025 Tiger Marching Band. Our first senior from Aihi, Hawaii is guard captain Jada Lynn Kamanu. She's accompanied by Jamie Lynn Kamanu and Elijah Savani Naaya. Jada Lynn is majoring in studio art with future plans to move back home to Hawaii and is planning to get a master's in fine arts in hopes of becoming an art teacher in the near future. Our next senior from Greenwood, Indiana is brass captain Tyler Green. He is accompanied by John Green, Rachel Green, and Madison Green. Tyler is majoring in music education with future plans to graduate in the spring after student teaching and then search for music educator jobs around the Midwest. Our next senior from Kankakee, Illinois is tenor saxophone section leader Chloe Cunnington. She's accompanied by Tom Cunnington and Deland Ware. Chloe is majoring in Christian education with minors in Christian ministry and theology with future plans to attend seminary for a Master's of Divinity and is seeking ordination in the United Methodist Church. Our next senior from Lake Zurich, Illinois is clarinet member Grace Trumbull. She's accompanied by Natalie and John Trumbull, Nicola, Alex, and Calvin Prybell. Grace is majoring in graphic design, a major with a minor in marketing with future plans to work as a junior private label designer in Kenosha, Wisconsin at Uline headquarters. She will be taking the knowledge she gained while interning there to continue her work in package design. Our next senior from Hebron, Indiana is drum major Ryan Williams. He is accompanied by Karen and Wayne Williams. Ryan is majoring in business administration, HR management concentrations with future plans to continue his education and all that by pursuing his MBA with a strategic leadership certificate and pursue a job working in HR. Eventually, he'd like to work as a talent acquisition specialist to help job seekers find the perfect job for their career plan. Our next senior from Beecher, Illinois is flute section leader Madeline Obenheist. She's accompanied by Sheila Obenheist and Jason Obenheist. Madeline is majoring in accounting and business management with a minor in finance with future plans to graduate in December. She'll be working for PwC starting in January as an audit associate. Our next senior from Peoria, Illinois is clarinet section leader Jacille Stoutheimer. She's accompanied by mother Denise Stoutheimer, sister Jalen Stoutheimer, and sister-in-law Darcy Stoutheimer. Roommates Jessica Gill and Elisa Rosenbluth. They may also join her. Jaceel is majoring in music education with future plans to spread the joy of music to children. She'd love to teach middle school band near her hometown, but is open to where the Lord may lead her, which may include performing in a military service band before beginning her teaching career. Our next senior from Bourbonnais, Illinois, is saxophone member Cameron Abbott. He's accompanied by his mother, Michelle Abbott, and his brother, Brandon Abbott. Colin Abbott is his brother as well. Savannah Abbott is his sister. Cameron is majoring in computer science with a concentration in software development with future plans to find a job in either software development or cybersecurity. He wants to use his experience as a cybersecurity intern and a teacher's assistant in college to launch a career in computer science. Our next senior from Bradley, Illinois is Polo Squad member Faith Hope Bond. She's accompanied by Johnny Bonds. Faith Hope is majoring in kinesiology, focused in occupational therapy with future plans to graduate with a Bachelor in Science. Eventually going to graduate school, finish her degree, and pursue occupational therapy. Our next senior from Parkersburg, West Virginia is Guard member Sierra Boone. She's accompanied by her friends in the color guard, Lacey Buss, Stephanie Haney. Sierra is majoring in zoology with minor in youth ministry, and she's got future plans to become an educator in wildlife rehabilitation. Our next senior from Morton, Illinois is Guard Captain Lily Wetterhouse. She's accompanied by her dad, Timothy Wetterhouse, her mom, Joy Beckwith. Lily is majoring in Bachelor of Science in Nursing, minor in music with future plans to graduate from ONU this December. In January, she's getting married and moving to Wisconsin, where she'll start her new position as a nurse in the pediatric ICU. Our next senior from Bremen, Indiana is open drum set Marisol Torres. She's accompanied by Manuel Torres, Veronica Torres, and family. Marisol is majoring in accounting and finance with future plans to move to Chicago. There she'll work with RSM and be pursuing her CPA license. She hopes to continue serving her community and using her gifts to support others and honor God in all she does. Our next senior from Manteno, Illinois is baritone section member Stephen Yantis. He's accompanied by Lynette and Fred Yantis. Steve is majoring in Earth and Space Sciences with future plans to pursue a career in science communication and visiting all of the U.S. national parks. Our next senior from Morley, Michigan is open keyboardist Jackie Lemire. She's accompanied by her mom, Ramona Lemire, dad, Jeffrey Lemire, brother, David Lemire. Jackie's majoring in music performance with future plans to attend graduate school for a master's in collaborative piano with the hopes of becoming a freelance pianist. And our next senior from Oak Creek, Wisconsin is woodwind captain Isaiah Manabach. He's accompanied by his parents, Scott and Amy Manabach. Isaiah is majoring in mechanical engineering with future plans to pursue a career in field engineering in the gas or steam turbine industry. Our next senior from West Columbia, Texas is head drum major Madison Albert. She's accompanied by mom Stephanie Miller, dad Casey Albert, and mom Lauren Albert. All of that adopted parents, Brent and Rebecca Long. Madison is double majoring in pre-med biology and chemistry, concentrated in biochemistry with future plans to get married in June to her fiancé Trey. She plans to pursue a master's degree in chemistry education so she can teach at the college level. She's looking for jobs near Olivet and considering applying to be a resident director. Our next senior from Portage, Indiana is Polo Squad media specialist Bryson Doring. He's accompanied by Richard Doring, Shelley Doring, Shaylin Copelello Stokes. Bryson is majoring in history, concentration in museum studies with future plans to graduate school and work in the field of study. Our next senior is from Tempe, Arizona. It's drum major Elise Groom. She's accompanied by Carl and Debbie Smiths. Elise is majoring in music education with future plans to graduate in May and serve the Lord by being a blessing to her students, church, family, and friends. She'd love to teach music at a Christian school, contribute to the music program in a local church, teach private voice lessons, and explore God's beautiful creation with friends and family. Our next senior is from Bedford, Indiana. That's snare drum member Caleb Jones. He's accompanied by Jim Jones, Heather Jones. Caleb is majoring in intercultural studies and sociology with future plans to attend graduate school. Our next senior from Eureka is bass drum member Garrett Keene. He's accompanied by his dad Matthew Keene, his mom Valerie Keene, his girlfriend Hope Nordbrock. Garrett is majoring in zoology with future plans to work for a conservation service of some kind to protect God's creation. Our next senior from Alsip, Illinois is open synthesizer and audio engineer Hannah Lean. She's accompanied by Kathy Lean, her mother, and her father Bill Lean. Hannah is majoring in music education with future plans to teach somewhere in the state and pursue a master's degree. Our next senior is from Kankakee, Illinois, and that's trumpet member Drake McPhail. He's accompanied by his mom Jamie McPhail and his dad Sean McPhail. Drake is majoring in music education with future plans to teach band for a little while and then attend graduate school for ethnomusicology and hopefully become a professor one day. Our next senior from Livonia, Michigan is Adeline Walls. Adeline is accompanied by Trinity Vallejo. Adeline Walls is majoring in biology with future plans to become a physician's assistant with a focus in surgical medicine and to continue loving art, nature, and music. Our next senior from North Canton, Ohio is Polo Squad Captain Emily Neal. She's accompanied by Elizabeth Neal and Jason Neal. Emily is majoring in architectural and civil engineering, but most importantly, the beautiful subject of mathematics. She's got future plans to go to graduate school to study structural engineering and to find a job in a similar field. If the Lord allows, she would love to use her expertise to further the Great Commission by building structures such as churches, hospitals, and schools around the world. And our concluding senior from Rockton, Illinois is chaplain and clarinet member William Thayer. He's accompanied by Father Ted Thayer, Mother Rhonda Thayer, Sister Adrina Thayer. William is majoring in criminal justice with future plans to look for a job at the Rock County Sheriff's Department, Rockford Police Department, or wherever else life takes him. And he plans to work to become a detective. Ladies and gentlemen, your marching band seniors. Our halftime show program takes us on a trip in time to a decade that defined pop culture, music, and style. The 1980s. From neon lights to cassette tapes, the 80s gave us some of the most iconic moments that still resonate today, and now as we look back, we'll hear some of the sounds that defined an entire generation. Tonight we're proud to present The Graves, a nostalgic celebration of the art, music, movies, and memories that made the 80s a time like no other. Drum major, is the band ready? Here they are, your Tiger Marching Band. The sounds of Everybody Wants to Rule the World reminds us of the global tensions and the spirit of change that define the era. This song encapsulates the hopes and dreams of a generation who felt both empowered and uncertain, holding the message that we're all striving for something bigger than ourselves, pushing boundaries and looking for our place in the world. Lauper's anthem, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, became the soundtrack to a generation's desire for freedom, joy, and yes, fun. Let's Hear It for the Boy takes us to the movies. From Karate Kid to Footloose, the 80s gave us characters who pushed through adversity with heart and a sense of optimism. A reminder that sometimes all it takes is believing in yourself, and with friends, anything is possible. When Bon Jovi took the stage in the 80s, they were capturing the heart of a generation that had dreams as big as the challenges in front of them. Living on a Prayer was the anthem for anyone who's ever faced tough times but refused to give up. We're living on a prayer, but we can make it through if we hold on to each other and keep the faith. What makes the Grady's so special. These songs, these movies, these memories, they're timeless. They connect us no matter where or when we're from. From arcade cabinets to mixtapes, big hair to neon leggings, the 80s was a time when anything seemed possible. And the future was wide open, but even today, we still carry that energy. The sense of possibility, the joy of music, the drive to keep going, and our faith to sustain us. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grady's. And now, your ONU fight song. The Tiger Marching Band is under the direction of Dr. Matthew Stratton with administrative assistance from Darian Harris. Design staff includes Dr. Stratton, the wind arranger, Dr. Jacqueline, percussion arranger, Charles Scaife, drill design, Heather Imedy, guard design and instruction, Sam Borthoff, battery instruction, Zach Robletsky, visual instruction. The ONU Band exists to further the outreach of the ONU School of Music and to further the advocacy of music education in our schools. We seek to glorify God by presenting performances that are engaging, entertaining, and with a high level of excellence. The band wishes to thank the athletic department and the administration for their continued support. Mrs. Ashton McBurney is Administrative Assistant to the School of Music, and Dr. Neil Woodruff is the Associate Dean of the School of Music. Let's go Tigers!
A few minutes left till halftime wraps up out here in Bourbonnais. Halftime score 21-6. Tigers on top of the Saints here today. Some halftime numbers for St. Francis throwing the football. 2 quarterbacks so far for the Saints. Carl Bew, 5 for 7 for 56. Nathan Mull, 5 for 9. Percentage isn't bad, but only 109 yards combined between the two of them. No touchdowns. Carl did throw an interception in the first half. Carrying the football, Carl's carried it the most, 7 carries for 32 yards. Abubakar Berry, 5 carries, -1. Aaron Larkins has 4 carries for 24 yards. Saints still looking to find the end zone today with that 21-6 score. Adrian Guerrero, a couple field goals, one to end the first half. Fighting the wind, just barely getting it over the crossbar. For Olivet Nazarene, Caleb Gardner, 12 for 20, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Aaron Bennett has been leading the way on the ground for the Tigers, 4 carries for 30 yards. Caleb Gardner has a touchdown on the ground as well. He, out of his quarterback spot, 8 carries, 12 yards, and a touchdown. Team numbers, it really comes down to yardage, really. Saints just need to find a way to move the ball in an efficient and effective manner. I should turn your microphone on.
You should. Or maybe you shouldn't.
Let's see how this first drive goes, and then we'll make that decision.
So, and the interesting thing is we talked about the wind and the fact that this is an east-west field and the wind's coming out of the west. That 20 of the 27 points, Nick, have come with the team that is going against the wind. And that's what the Saints will have to start the second half here. It was nice to get the field goal. That puts you at a 2-score difference. And if you can get a touchdown here, it makes things a lot more interesting and gives the Saints even more momentum here in this second half.
Carl Bew, the single back to return the kickoff here from the Tigers. They will be kicking with the wind at their back. Let's see if they give Carl a chance. Ball control on special teams is going to be an important part here for Olivet Nazarene. Not to give Carl a chance at it, and that trend will continue today. Carl not having any kind of opportunities to return any kickoffs today, even though he is the 3-time Special Teams Player of the Week in the MSFA. 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns, something no Saint has done in the 40-year history of the program. Olivet knows that, and they're not giving him any kind of chances. And we'll see if he can do something offensively out of the quarterback spot here, throwing the ball. It's been okay. 5 for 7 is pretty good, 56 yards, but something's going to have to give, especially downfield here for the Saints.
Yeah, let's see if they can put together a drive similar to what they did to end the first half and got 3 points on the board.
The safeties shading over to Ryan Little's side. And they're going to run to the other side. Carl Bew on a designed quarterback run, but he can only go sideways for no gain. He took it from the left hash all the way out of bounds to the right side and actually might have lost a yard. Great job by the Tiger defense to string that out all the way to the boundary.
I'll say lost 2 yards on that play, Nick. So not a good first play. Makes second and actually 13 now. See if the Saints go with the pass on the second and long situation. They've got Aaron Larkins in the backfield as well.
3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Ryan Little is wide left. There's the snap. Carl to throw, going one-on-one to Hackman. A bit underthrown, but a flag comes in from behind the receivers, what should be a pass interference play, I believe. It's going to go against Ronald Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas not giving Hackman the opportunity to come back and get that catch from Carl Bew.
I don't like this conversation, though. The field judge and line judge talking it out, but they will keep, it looks like, the penalty intact. Mason.
Defense number 2. Ball be placed in the spot of foul. Automatic first down.
So it only it was second down and 12. I think they gave him about 11 yards on the play, but an automatic first down with the interference. So first down for the Saints at the 33-yard line. A gift from the Tigers here on the opening drive of the second half. Saints trailing 21-6. 4 linemen for the Tigers defense. Let's see how many they bring. Safety's coming up to blitz. There's the snap. They bring 5. Fake to the running back. Carl tried to sneak through, and he was only tripped up by the shoelaces around the 39. They give him the 38. 5-yard pickup for Carl Bew, and one of the Saints' offensive linemen is injured. Anthony Nisikowski, the senior, coming up a bit hobbled. Is that the center? Yeah. Anthony playing the center position. One of those seniors playing in their final game today.
Wind's picking up here, as you can.
Yeah. Snap back to Carl. Read play. They give to Larkins. Stutter steps, but again, a great tackle at the point of attack for the Tigers, minimizing the gain, a pickup of 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 for the Saints. Is that Barry?
Yep. No, that was Larkins
yeah.
on that play. Yep. And Larkins in the backfield on this play along with Bew.
Saints,
2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left.
Saints 3 for 8 on 3rd down today. 3rd down and 2 right now. They give to Larkins outside. He breaks free to midfield, still fighting for some extra yards. He needed 2 and picked up 7 or 8 for the first down for the Saints. A little nervous there might have been a holding on the edge there where Larkins was turning the corner, but no flag came out. First down Saints right near midfield.
Yep, Saints get into Olivet. No, actually they're going to mark it right at the 50. But the Saints moving the ball. Started at their own 25. Now they mark it at the Olivet 49.
Here's a blitz right up the middle. Play action to Larkins. Carl wanted to go to the middle, but they had a blitzer coming right there. And it's going to go for another sack on Carl Bew. They actually marked I thought they were going to give him a loss of like 9, but the initial contact was only about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so they're going to mark it at the St. Francis 48.
Yeah, and their linebacker came in right from the middle, the sophomore who's had to pick up for the loss of the senior linebacker, and he did on that play.
Here comes the throw from Carl. Flings it out of bounds. A flag comes in, but he threw it out of bounds, and they might pick up that flag. If it's a holding, it might be.
I think it's holding on the defense again.
It can't be pass interference as that ball was thrown out of bounds intentionally, but it could
it's
be
holding.
Wow.
It's holding.
Another first down going to be awarded thanks to a Tiger penalty on the drive. Second one of the drive.
Briar's pass. Holding. Defense number 2.
Same guy as well. They're going to call it on Ron Thomas. You know what? That's the Ryan Little effect. When you're going up against a guy like Ryan who's so good one-on-one and much bigger than the defender, you tend to hold a little bit more.
So it goes a 7-yard penalty and another first down by penalty for the Saints on this drive.
Ryan Little 6'3", his defender Ron Thomas only 5'9". Play action. Carl's going to keep it, looking for some inside daylight. Has to bounce it outside. Oh, but he's tripped up at the 40-yard line. A gain of just 2. Again, the yards are just so hard to come by. Even when you think you might see a little room to run for Carl, those defenders make some plays.
There's some opportunities for him to break some plays here, and he's just getting tripped up at the last second. But I would not be surprised if he's able to run off a 40-yarder if he can get by one of those last-ditch efforts by the Tigers.
2nd and 8. They fire to the outside. They had Engstrom wide open, but he missed him trying to throw into the wind there and incomplete. Third down and 8 coming up for the Saints at the Tiger 40. A big third down here. If you got to get back in this game, you need to start making up some ground here. You don't want to You don't want to have to make up all these points in the fourth quarter alone. You got to start chipping away. Looks like the blitz coming from inside again. Snap back to Carl. Blitz backs off. They rush for. Carl steps up, trying to make some miss. Makes one, makes two, past the 30. That's going to be enough for the first down. It's a big run for Carl. Around 10, 11 yards or so, out to the 28-yard line. First down.
Fourth first down on this drive, Nick. Puts the ball at the Olivet 27.
Snap back to Carl. Hurry up offense. Carl looking for some room outside, and Turf Monster got him. That dreaded Turf Monster shows its head again. He just fell down right around the 26. He did pick up about a yard or two.
Sometimes his feet are so quick that he just gets tripped up by himself there. Got that right ankle taped up, and that was the one that was bothering him last week at the end of the game and in the first half this afternoon.
Olivet bringing everybody here on this play. Little broken play here, and Carl's going to lose some more yards.
Yeah, Carl was waiting on that. Aaron Larkins ran to the right side. Carl was delivering ball to the left side, was waiting for Larkins, and then Larkins wasn't there, and finally Carl just picked it up, and now Carl and Larkins talking over the play, but that's a loss of 5 yards.
Carl's got his hands on his hips like he's pretty gassed here or hurt or some combination of the two. 10:24 to go, third quarter. Saints trying to chip away at this 21-6 Tiger lead. Third down and long. They need to get to the 20. Carl to throw, looking right, looking one-on-one for Hackman. Tried to come back to the ball, but incomplete. And they may have thought about a flag there, but the ball was so underthrown, I'm not sure it was catchable.
Yeah, it was wobbly from the beginning, Nick. And
here comes Nate Mall on fourth down. So they're not going to give Guerrero a chance to pin him. They're going to try to pick up a first down here.
Yeah, need 14 yards, and that's why you bring in Nathan Mall, the better of the two quarterbacks from a passing standpoint.
3 wideouts, 2 right, 1 left. Larkins the tailback and the pistol behind Mall. Nate looking, fires downfield into triple coverage, intercepted. And a return from the 10, past the 30. Hit by Larkins, who has to make the tackle at the 35-yard line. The interception to Jalen Perkins. Second interception for Nate Mall today.
Yeah, not a good attempt there that time, Nick. There were 3 men around the wide receiver, Connor Engstrom, and that led to the interception. Had they been able to take the defender down at the 10, it would have been an all right play, but instead he returned it for about 28 yards, and it'll give Olivet Nazarene field position at its own 38 with 9:54 left to play as the Saints come up empty on their opening drive.
Correct myself, that's not the second interception for Nate. It's the second for the team. First one for Nate. Carl had one earlier in the first half. First down for the Tigers. Their first touch here in the second half.
It was a 12-play drive, Nick, that resulted in no points.
Snap goes to Gardner. He hands off inside carry. He goes for about 4. They mark it at the 41. So 3-yard pickup for the ball carrier, Aaron Bennett. Over 400 yards on the season. 4 touchdowns, averages about 4.7 per carry. Not gaudy numbers, but Olivet Nazarene, a passing attack mainly. Especially when they had their top quarterback, Christian Dew-Reed. 22 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. Yeah. Incredible touchdown to interception ratio for him. Over 2,000 yards.
Reminds you of the Marion quarterback.
Mm-hmm. High snap brought down, handoff completed, run left, makes 1, makes 2, miss, and finally brought down around the 6-yard line, and a first down for Aaron Bennett, who's running very well today. This usually very good tackling St. Francis defense having a hard time with him. Reminds me of another 27, another guy from Marion, Keegan LaBelle. 8:50 to go, third quarter, 21-6 Tigers. First down is at the 46. Saints do have one offensive play of the game, if memory serves. Definitely the first drive. Here's a safety blitz for the Saints. Came the wrong way. They ran away from it. But the carry goes for no yards.
Their interception, are you saying?
No, ours. We had St. Francis had an interception, no?
Yes,
Yeah,
but that was on the
I know it was the first drive, but it was correct? Am I misremembering?
Yeah, it was on the 5th play.
5th play. My apologies. Second down, no gain on the Bennett run. Baranowski there for the stop for the Saints, who's been having a very good last couple of weeks.
Yes, for sure.
Bennett in the backfield with Garner. Second down. Saints have 4 linemen. They rush the 4. Give to Bennett. Right side. Good running again up the boundary before he's pushed out of bounds. I thought there was a flag thrown, but it was actually just a couple of kids playing football with a yellow Nerf ball.
13-yard pickup for Bennett, and the Tigers continue to march down the field to the St. Francis 33-yard line here. 7:20 left to play. Third quarter. No scoring here in the second half. It was Olivet Nazarene 21-6 at the break.
First down for the Tigers, 33-yard line. 7:07 to go, third quarter, 21-6 Tigers. Bennett again, the running back, but he'll reset to the left of Garner. Tight end right is Blake Lamb. Safety's coming on the blitz again. They throw left, one-on-one on the outside. Speed burst past the 20 to about the 17. Baranowski had to track him down, but another big gainer. This one to Rustin Abeng Perez, the freshman from Hawaii. Just his 3rd catch of the season.
Yeah, just so many plays from this Olivet offense this afternoon that have gone for 10 yards or more. It's probably around the 10th play like that. And 4 of those, I think, were 20-plus yards.
St. Francis trying to get at the quarterback, Garner, but he's doing very well getting rid of the ball on target and on time. Motion to the right. They look his way. Nothing there. Here comes pressure. Garner steps up again. Look at the quarterback go past the 10 to the 5, and it's 1st and goal Tigers thanks to the elusiveness of Garner.
Another 15-yard play. 6 plays on this drive, Nick. 4 have gone for at least 13 yards.
What a weapon he is. He wasn't even their starter to start this season. He's very Carl Bew, Sam Tumulty-like in the way he plays the game. Throw first, but if it's not there, he'll make you pay with his legs.
Now, was Christian Dew, what year was he?
He's a senior, too.
So this kid will be back. He's listed as a junior.
There's a snap to Garner. Rolling right, nothing there. Rolling back left, and the Saints get to him right around the 18-yard line.
Rob Baranowski there, as well as Carson Hansen, and it will go for, what, about a 12-yard loss. All right, second goal from the 17 now. As the sun tries to peek back out here at Ward Field on the campus of Olivet Nazarene University. Bourbonnais, Illinois, just about a 45-minute drive from the campus of USF.
4 sacks on the day for the Saints defense. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 17-yard line. Garner draw play, and Bennett, look at all the room Bennett has on the draw. He takes it all the way back to the 5-yard line and gets those sack yards back on the draw. Perfectly designed play. Will be 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. 4:12 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, personally, I'd just give it back to Bennett.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Bennett averaging 8 yards per touch today. 9 carries for 72 yards. The running back for the Tigers. Under minutes to go. Bennett to the right of Gardner. 4 wide receivers out there. Look for the big target, Blake Lamb as well, slot right. Looking that way, nothing there, nothing left. Here comes the defense, and Baranowski gets to him again, back to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that's one of the things Gardner has not done well today is get rid of the football. He feels that he's so elusive that he can get by some of these guys, and Rob Baranowski has at least 2 sacks this afternoon. That is a 20-yard loss, and that will result in a 39-yard field goal attempt with the wind, but again, it's blowing all over the place.
Josiah Johnson, the kicker, has a long of 35 yards this season. This one a 39-yarder. Will be his longest with a nice wind at his back. Plenty of leg if it's good, and it is good. Nice kick by Johnson in the interesting celebration as well. 24-6 the score after the field goal. 2:47 left to go in the third quarter. Another interesting spot of that ball, too. The bodies landed on that sack from Baranowski at the 25-yard line, but they marked it 3 yards in front of that. They marked it almost at first contact. Like this, the moment that his hand hit a jersey, that's when they marked the ball.
They've been doing that a lot this afternoon, I've noticed.
I get forward progress. When you're running backward, I'm not sure there's I don't know. That's a tough call.
That's why you're up here and they're down there.
I guess. Yeah.
All right, so the field goal makes it, again, a 3-score game. Very important 3 points for Olivet Nazarene, and the Saints are going to have to kick it in gear offensively if they want to get back into this game. Just over 18 minutes left in the contest, the season finale for both teams. Saints trying to end on a high note, and Olivet Nazarene looking to match its season of a year ago when it also went 6-4.
Olivet averaging just over 38 points per game compared to the 30 for St. Francis, and 346 yards per game.
Carl Bew really back deep in the
they're just not going to give him a chance. This ball with the wind,
I think he's going to have a chance on this one.
You don't think this is going to go out the end zone?
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's going to go in the end zone, but I think this one he's going to return.
Okay. As the wind kicks up. Here's the kickoff from Kaysen. Line drive kick over the head of Carl and out the back of the end zone. You thought he had I did think he had a chance there for a second.
If it would have been 3 yards deep, he would have. That one was all the way to the back of the end zone. That would have been a Devin Hester play.
We've seen 3 of them already this year from Carl. Taking a look at that Marion St. Xavier score.
Ugh.
Yep, Marion.
I sort of figured that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. It was a long shot for St. Xavier to beat them, and now they're just trying to stay in the game. 38-0. The Knights on top. Marion, the highest-rated MSFA team right now, ranked 7th in the country. Indiana Wesleyan was rated as high as, 5th earlier this season? They're down, to 11th. Here we go, first down for the Saints. Connor Engstrom on the jet sweep left. He gets it past the 30 to about the 32. Nice pickup for 7. 2:35 to go third quarter. Saints still trail here, 24-6, unable to find the end zone.
And that's been a problem in some games.
One would say
last
the
week
biggest
against
problem.
Marion, once against St. Xavier, and so far today against Olivet.
Fake to Barry, but Carl nowhere to go. Offensive line did their best, but they had about 3 defenders on Carl in the backfield, and he loses about 4 on the play. Make that 3rd down and 6 now, back to the 29-yard line. Marion at 7, Indiana Wesleyan at 11, St. Francis, Indiana up to 21, and St. Xavier number 25 as it sits right now.
Olivet was still receiving votes.
As they should. Snap back to Carl here on 3rd and 6.
Oh,
should have been intercepted, but how did Ryan Little catch it? And now he's got space to run. Past the 50, Ryan Little chopped at the 40-yard line. That should have been intercepted at the St. 30, but Ryan Little finds the football somehow and runs it all the way to the 40 of the Tigers.
Yeah, absolutely. Should have been, and their main linebacker is going down there.
Jalen Perkins is injured. And there'll be an injury timeout with 1:20 to go in the third quarter. Ryan Little, it's just one of those guys you have to almost force feed the ball to Carl Bew, Ryan Little, those two guys are your biggest offensive weapons.
Yeah, I can't believe that ball got to him because that was very much pickable.
Yeah,
if you do
pick six.
Yeah, if you do, the probability, those things that they do nowadays with all these probability, probability that they're still going to win, and stuff like that. I think the probability was about 5% that Ryan Little would have came up with that instead of the interception, and he turns it into a 31-yard pickup. And good job of blocking downfield and keeping with his block was Jake Friddle that freed Ryan Little up for another 10, maybe 11 yards.
Maybe a cramp down there for Perkins, the linebacker who's injured for the Tigers right now. Injury timeout, $1:20 to go, third quarter, 24-6 is the score. St. Francis still trying to fight for yardage here today.
Third quarter, late in the third quarter, St. Francis and Governor State in that top matchup of CCAC women's basketball teams. Saints clinging to a 38-36 lead with 2:21 left to play in the third quarter. Both teams undefeated on the season. The Saints at 6-0 and Governor State at 4-0.
The Saints averaging something around 80 points a game. The women's basketball team?
Something like that.
That's pretty incredible. I've seen them play once, and they are a team to be reckoned with in the CCAC. No doubt about that as they continue to work on Perkins right on the 30-yard line.
Checking some other scores. The final week of this regular season. Marion, as we mentioned, all over St. Xavier, 38-0. Taylor leading Madonna in the third quarter, 56-21. St. Francis, Indiana, all over Judson, 49-6. Defiance and Lawrence Tech, tight ball game. Defiance 35, Lawrence Tech 27.
Devontae Mitchell's old team.
And how about this one? They have a weather delay up in Michigan. Indiana Wesleyan leads Siena Heights 47-16.
Thunderstorm?
Could be.
Still working on Perkins. This is becoming outside of cramp territory here with the amount of time they're taking and just not even attempting to help him off the field. I was reading about their starting quarterback, Christian Dew Reed, as Perkins pops up. Speaking of Michigan, Dew Reed out of the Detroit area was the quarterback for the number one team in the state and broke a bunch of records, actually. He is the Michigan State record holder for career passing touchdowns back in 2020 when he set that record, 127 touchdowns. Now, he was a bit, undersized, had no collegiate offers, even though he was the quarterback for the best team breaking touchdown records in Michigan. No offers until he finally found a landing spot at Tuskegee and Independence Community College in Kansas before making his way to Olivet. Perkins, good sign, walking under his own power, even if has a bit of a heavy limp with that left leg.
Yeah, not bending that knee at all.
All right, back to action here. First down for the Saints after the improbable Ryan Little catch and run. Two wideouts left, one right at the Tiger 40. Here comes the blitz.
Got to get rid of it.
And he finally does get rid of it. And a nice catch on the outside, but was he in bounds? Jake Friddle. Oh, they're going to say he did not have total control before he fell out of bounds. It would have been only a gain of about 4 or 5 yards.
Not even that, I don't think. Yeah, Carl's got to make sure to get rid of that quickly. We've seen him get sacked, similar to Gardner for Olivet Nazarene, taking big losses.
61 seconds to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Saints at the Tiger 40. Play action. Keeper for Carl Bew. He's running the wrong way and finally goes out of bounds, but not after a loss of about 6, depending on the spot.
7.
Yeah, he goes back to the 46-yard line. 3rd and long now. Carl just having a tough time finding some space. St. Francis 220, make that 211 of yards of total offense today. 273 for the Tigers. Third down and 16.
Yeah, difficult 3rd and 16 situation.
Got to throw into the wind here. Snap back to Carl. Looking downfield, steps up in the pocket, fires on the run, had Friddle open, but he couldn't put it on frame, and it's incomplete for a 4th down.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Friddle wide open there, and he just threw behind the senior from Wilmington. And Saints will have to punt the ball after driving for about 30-some yards.
On comes Guerrero, the sophomore from Willowbrook. 37 yards per punt average, has a long of 52. Is going to try to pin the Tigers inside the 15 or 10-yard line here. With the line of scrimmage being the 46, he'll punt it from around the 44 on the other side, end over end. That one actually one of the worst punts of the season for Adrian. Goes out of bounds, trying to avoid the return, I'm sure. It goes out of bounds right around the 25 or so. Can't exactly see where they spotted it. 14 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. That sun comes shining again as the clouds continue to roll overhead here in Bourbonnais. And
got to tell you a funny story when we have a little break here.
I love funny stories. First down for the Tigers.
And it happened right at this field.
25-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Garner in the shotgun. Blitz coming from his right from the Saints. They hand off and run right at it. Right through into the 3rd level to the 35 to the 37, a pickup of 13. And tried to dial up a safety blitz, but they ran inside for a 1st down.
Brian Bannis on the stop, and anytime you get your cornerbacks and your safeties making tackles, that's too far. And again, a 13-yard pickup for Olivet Nazarene. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Olivet Nazarene on top 24-6. So it was a similar November day, Nick. This was probably a good 15 years ago down here. And this is when they still had a grass field. And it was right after the time change. And they did not adjust the sprinkler system accordingly. So it was the 4th quarter of a game, and all of a sudden the sprinklers went on here, and they had to scramble to get the sprinkler system turned off.
Classic sprinkler story.
Now a lot of fields, you just don't have to worry about that anymore.
Nope.
The mastermind behind the new AstroTurf, resting at home, counting his money.
Yeah, exactly. Olivet, 164 passing yards, 122 rushing yards today as we head to the 4th quarter. 24-6 the score. Tigers on top. 1st down as we switch sides of the field. So Gardner going to be passing into the wind now, but the backfield empties. 5 receivers en route. Garner steps up in the pocket, and he's on the run. Past the 50, still going to the 45 of the Saints as the rain starts to fall here in Bourbonnais. We're getting a bit of a drizzle, which is coming through the roof because we're sitting right underneath the door that leads to the access, to the roof access where a lot of the cameras are. So some of the rain coming through the hole in the roof for us. And you see the fans in the stands kind of scramble for some hoods and umbrellas. That's if they brought any.
I had you sit where you sat.
No, I appreciate you.
I've got a little roof.
You pay for breakfast. I'll sit under the hole in the roof. That's perfectly fair. 1st down after the Garner scramble. The backfield empties again. Another quarterback run. Same play. Past the 40. He's only able to get about 5, make it 6 or 7 as the referee continues to run. 7 yards on that carry. Offensive line now doing the job for the Tigers.
Yeah, as strong of a passing game as they had, we figured there was going to be a little bit more of a running presence this afternoon with the new starting quarterback. And that it has been, and it's been very successful for ONU this afternoon.
Olivet averages about 159 yards rushing per game. 2nd down and 4 now. Play action into the air, to the flat they go. It's complete near the line to gain, but he ran backwards, so the spot's going to be important here. It will be shy of the 1st down, so 3rd down and coming up from the 35-yard line.
Banis and Baranowski on the tackle for the Saints.
Beth Lilo along with Christian Warren checking back in as wideouts for the Tigers here on 3rd down and 1. Garner slaps, nothing doing, claps again, and he's going to get the Saints on an offside. They're going to throw it into the end zone on the free play, and it is caught for the touchdown. Penalty declined. That's going to go for 35 yards through the air. Lilo comes in off the bench and makes a heck of a grab. His 2nd touchdown of the game, I believe, for the senior out of Hawaii. They really baited the Saints into that, too, because they typically, with the snap, the quarterback will clap his hands and then take the snap. They did a fake clap first, but then they did a second fake clap, which got the Saints to jump through the free ball, an Aaron Rodgers type of play into the end zone for the touchdown. And on for the extra point comes Josiah Johnson. 12:47 to go. Extra point here will make it 31. Kicks it over the Olivet Nazarene marching band for the extra point. 31-6 with 12:47 to go in the ball game. All Tigers out here in Bourbonnais today. Look at some of the 56 plays, 348 yards for the Tigers compared to just 219, which is actually more than I would have guessed for the Saints. 219 total yards have come through the air. And it's not the same kind of stat sheet, is it? I'm having trouble finding. Here we go, 79 rush on the day so far. St. Francis averages 166 yards on the ground, so Tiger defense doing a really good job bottling up the rushing attack for the Saints today. Carl Bew standing at his 10. He might get a chance now as the kickoff is going to go into the wind, but we'll see what kind of angle Kason puts on it. Angles it left. It's going to float in the air. Abubakar Berry is the one who steps back to make it. He flips it over to Bew, but way too late. About the 15-yard line, he flipped it back to Bew. If you're going to do that, you got to do that right away.
Yeah, for sure.
Or what you really should have is Berry should have ran up. Carl Bew should have sort of called him off and said, "I got it." He did not do that, however.
And, with coverage right there, the Olivet Nazarene kickoff team did a great job of just adjusting to where the ball was at and knocked Carl Bew down at the 15-yard line.
All right, wind at their back now here for the next 12 minutes and 39 seconds. See if the Saints offense can do something with that slight advantage. Well, that was quick. Right off the bat, 5-yard penalty for the Saints. Not a good start. Gavin Day, I believe, to the right of Carl Bew here on 1st down and 15 at their own 10-yard line. Safety coming into blitz. So is the other safety from the other side and the middle linebacker. They all back off, though. They only rush 4. Carl looking. Nothing is open downfield. He fires. He does find Friddle at the 40-yard line for a 30-yard dart in a 1st down. They give him the extra 2 after the hit. Goes for 32 yards on the pitch out to Jake Friddle. His first catch in quite a while.
Good pass protection by the Saints offensive line that time. That's what allowed Carl Bew the extra time that he needed, and then the freedom that was created by Jake Friddle.
Snap back to Carl, looking to throw again. Fires looking for Jake on the out route, and it goes incomplete. 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the Saint 42. 12 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the 2025 season. Snap to Carl. Rushing for the Tigers, and he has to escape the pocket. Looking there, tucks it in and goes. Trots out of bounds around the 48-yard line. And a flag comes in at the end of the play right in front of the offensive line of the Saints. That's not a good sign.
No, actually, I think it's going to be on the defense. It might be unsportsmanlike conduct on number 93 for Olivet Nazarene. I saw one of the Saint offensive linemen clapping.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 93.
Illegal hands to the face, personal foul. It's going to give the Saints a first down into Tiger territory. That was Mike Washington, the freshman out of Kankakee, Illinois. He's been a disruptor this year. 6.5 tackles behind the line, 3.5 sacks. First down for the Saints, though, inside Tiger territory to the 37. Friddle tight end left, and he'll motion to the right. 4 linemen, they only rush 4. Here's Carl, steps up in the pocket and tries to escape and can't. He'll be sacked for a loss. He'll lose 2. Kevin Wilson, the sack.
Yeah, Carl's just hanging on to the ball too long. He's got to make that decision earlier if he's going to run with it. He waits until the last second. By that time, leads to the sack.
2nd and 12. Carl, pocket, goes to the
There
right,
you go.
fires on the run, has Engstrom at the 20. Good tackle, though, at the top of the play. Tried to spin out of it. If he would have broken that tackle, he would have had a touchdown, but the safety, Andre Carter, able to corral him and take him down to the turf. First down, though, for the Saints at the 20-yard line.
Connor Engstrom's gain of 19 yards, as you mentioned, puts the ball right at the 20, 10:48 left to play. Saints try and get in the end zone for the first time this afternoon.
Into the flat for Friddle. He'll pick up 5 to the 15-yard line. 10.5 to go in the ball game. Saints trail 31-6.
You know, you look at the list of Saints that are graduating, all 18, and there's a lot that are, you know, you're going to miss next year. And
Yep,
big number 88 is one of them.
sure is. What a career arc he's had to. Bew looking to the end zone, and it's going to be picked off right now. And it'll be a touchback picked off in the end zone. There was either confusion or contact or both. Not enough for the flag. He was either looking for Engstrom or for Holland. Either way, he found a Tiger instead for another interception.
Third interception of the afternoon, second by Carl Bew, and negates another opportunity for the Saints to put the ball in the end zone. 31-6, Olivet Nazarene, 10-11 left to play. But yeah, as you were talking about Jake Friddle, and you know, the disappointing thing was last year when he got hurt so early in the season, because like you said, that trajectory upward, you know, and he's done great things this year, but if he had that full year of experience underneath him a year ago, imagine what he would have been like this year. Not that he hasn't been incredible already.
First down, and they're going to put their backup quarterback in, Jack Miller, to call it the plays. Run play, breaks one tackle, but not the second. Drugged down at about the 25, and a flag comes in behind the offense. Could be in the position of holding. We'll see. Still waiting on the signal. Referee still trying to get word on maybe who the penalty was on, perhaps. Or if the Saints are going to accept it, which I don't. If it's a holding, I'm not sure why they wouldn't. Oh, no. Another unnecessary roughness call against the Tigers after the play.
Yeah, and it was so there was the 6 yards, and then I don't know if it was one of the linemen, but they did something to Marcelo Bernardi, and actually when Bernardi got up and saw the referee Scott Fisher throw the flag down, he gave a signal to Fisher saying, "Thanks for catching that."
2nd and 17, all the way back to the 13-yard line for the Tigers after the personal foul penalty. Miller, the quarterback. Play action. He's in some trouble around the 2. He does get rid of it to the running back in the flat. Makes one miss and gets it all the way to the 25 goal line. Turns into a nice run after catch to the 24. It's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, he was close to Miller was close to safety territory.
Yep.
He was back as deep as his 2-yard line, spun out of a missed tackle there, threw it to his back out of the backfield, and he picked up 11 yards, creating a 3rd and 6 situation.
That was Nakoa Kahana Travis, 11 yards on the catch. 3rd down and 6. Empty backfield for Miller. Plenty of time. Files is tipped at the line and falls incomplete. Carson Hansen, I believe, got a hand on it.
Yep, Carson Hansen, another Saint who you're going to lose. You know, you got 3 guys from I mean, I don't know. Have you ever been down to see a Wilmington football game?
No, but I know the lore of a Wilmington football game with the motorcycles for the player run out and the cornfield and the whole thing.
But you got a bunch of tough kids, and we got 3 of them on our team this year that we're going to lose: Jake Friddle, Carson Hansen, and Alan Richards. Yep. They are tough cookies.
Is Alan playing today?
No, he was out with the concussion last week and still sidelined today.
4th down. Here's the punt into the wind. Connor Engstrom will try to return it from the 45, but the Tigers have hard tackle around the sideline. I guess not quite late enough to draw the flag. It's one of the tougher kids on the team. First-year kid Connor Engstrom. He's taking some hard hits, and he won't let you know it.
Up. I will tell you, redshirt freshman, he just gets up and another. That's what St. Francis built on, just tough, hard-nosed kids. And that's what, makes it so unfortunate, the season that's happened this year with all the injuries. It just goes back to, I think, week number 1, 6th play of the game, Nick Budis, and, it's just been one Saint after another on that defensive front.
4 wideouts here for Carl Bew. One safety comes in. The other safety takes a spot in center field. Here's the blitz on Carl. He's got to hurry.
Run.
Rolls left, fires on the run, has his target complete at the 40-yard line. Another one for Jake Friddle.
It's going to be offsetting penalties. You're going to have a late hit on Friddle, and I believe you're going to have holding on the Saints. So I think it's just going to offset, and they're going to redo the play.
Another penalty that wipes another big play off the board. If you want to talk about storylines of this year, it's untimely penalties that have really hamstrung the offense.
Yeah, it wasn't that way early in the season, but then it seemed to pick up in weeks 3 and 4, and then it just took off from there.
Officials having a conversation about this one, too. First down, yep. So they're not offsetting since one came after the play.
Correct.
They mark off the 10 yards for the hold, and then they mark off the 15. So it's a net gain of 5 yards for the Saints and an automatic first down, the ball at midfield. Larkins behind Bew here in the pistol. It's a Saints get a fresh set of downs. 8:34 to go in the ball game. Defensive tackles for the Tigers switch spots. There's the whistle to start the clock. Snap back to Carl. He'll take 3 steps. Nothing downfield. Tucks it and goes. He's got some room. Cuts it to the 40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5. He runs out of bounds at the 5-yard line. I would have loved to have seen him try to fight for a touchdown here.
Stiff arm to that last defender.
Touchdowns have been nearly impossible to come by for the last 4 weeks of the year. Oh. And he runs out of bounds at the 5. And there's nothing that makes me think this is going to be easy. Carl takes the snap, nearly fumbles it, sees a little bit of daylight, and does reach and touchdown. Thank you, Carl, for proving me wrong on that one. First touchdown from the offense in quite a long time. The Saints get on the board 31-12 as it sits right now. We'll have probably a 2-point conversion coming up for the Saints, which they've been pretty successful at this year, to be honest.
Yeah, Jake Friddle has a couple. Carl Bew has one.
We've had 5 straight turnovers, and we've got like 1 first down off of them.
And you set up in a traditional offensive formation here. 2 wideouts left, 1 right. Larkins left to Bew. Friddle left tight end. Snap to Carl. Reverses to Engstrom. He's going to look to throw it. Nothing downfield. Pump fake. Scott his guy in the air and trots it in. Connor Engstrom. I think option A was to throw it. He pump faked, got the linebacker to jump, and ran right by him for 2. It's a nice play. Under 8 minutes to go, 31-14. Saints offense gets on the board.
And with that touchdown, Carl Bew takes the team lead on the season in touchdowns, surpassing Jake.
Marion on top of St. Xavier, 45-0 with 2 minutes to go in that one.
Yeah, there's some games for this season that, you'd really like to have back.
That's St. Xavier, man.
The Taylor, the St. Xavier, and the Siena Heights ones.
Yep.
I mean, the first one, the Taylor one I really think was, again, you had so many new faces, and Taylor already had 1 game under its belt, and I think that was the difference. So, give credit to Taylor on that one. I obviously give credit to the teams that won, but, the Siena Heights game hurts because you had the lead, and then all of a sudden on the onside kick, things get turned around, and then the St. Xavier game, it just seems like, as Olivet Nazarene takes a timeout here, it just seems like the Saints just don't bring out their best game against, you see some momentum, and then you play St. Xavier, and it just all of a sudden becomes a struggle, and you're making the mistakes. And fortunately, the Saints snapped that long losing streak a year ago with that improbable second half comeback and winning in overtime. But those were the things, and a lot of it again has to do with the multiple injuries to veteran guys who played 4-5 years here at St. Francis, or transferred in, who have a lot of experience, and the Saints just didn't have that defensively, and it really was amazing what the team did 2 weeks ago against Marion, Indiana. I mean, nobody expected that whatsoever, and the Saints gave the number 7 ranked team a run. And look at the score today with Marion and St. Xavier. That's why it's just so many things, and I always talk to Joe after pretty much every game, especially the road games. Comes into the office after, and we just talk about each game. And he was so proud of the kids at Marion coming back from that, and he just told the guys, we have this potential, but we just haven't been able to put it together week in and week out. And as we mentioned in the pregame, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde, and that's what it's been this season.
St. Francis going to try the onside kick here, but Adrian Guerrero just boots it, line drive out of bounds. Didn't quite get the top of that football, got more of the middle, and sent a missile into the St. Francis bench.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team number 61. 5-yard penalty for the ball went out of bounds.
So the penalty is a 5-yarder from where it went out. They're going to mark it at the 42, so mark it up to the 47. About half field to go here for the Tiger offense with just a few ticks under 8 minutes to go. 31-14 Tigers here in the season finale. This is the longest running rivalry for the Saints program, the 34th meeting between St. Francis and Olivet. The first one being the first year the program started, its inception back in 1986. Played for a handful of years and then had about a 7-year hiatus. St. Francis won this game last year 38-13. They were down 13-0 and then rattled off 38 unanswered. That's when Sam Tumulty had 4 rushing touchdowns and set a bunch of records in that one. Miller will take the snap and hand off. Counter play left, bouncing outside to the boundary. Pick up about 15, almost 20 yards on the carry up to the 35.
Yeah, and you can see why Olivet Nazarene was in every game this year. You know, they came in, as you mentioned, 5-1, have lost 3 in a row entering today, but each of their 4 losses against Indiana Wesleyan, Marion, St. Xavier, and St. Francis, Indiana were 1 point against Indiana Wesleyan and 8 points against the other 3 teams. So 1-score games.
First down at the 35 of the Saints. Another handoff. Not much room that time there for Nakoa Kahana Travis.
The 2 linebackers for the Saints, Michael Carver and Carson Hansen, on the tackles for the Saints there, allowing just a 2-yard pickup as we are under 7 minutes in this season finale.
Mike Carver, one of those players getting a lot more minutes with the injury to Franciscovich and Mabudis as well.
Yeah, and a lot of guys are going to have to step up. We're going to see who the linebackers are, because you lose Carver, you lose Hansen, and you lose Richards.
Snap, and again the handoff to Travis, makes one miss. What a swim move to the 20, 10, shoulder down, inside the 5. First and goal, Tigers. As you can just almost feel the energy leaving the stadium here for the Saints. You got to pick it up defensively.
Yeah, Nathan Chute finally knocks down the running back at about the 3-yard line, but not before about a 25-yard pickup. And again, the big yardage plays have been killers for the Saint defense this afternoon.
Kahana Travis, left of Miller. Jack Miller, the backup quarterback, in for the Tigers at this point. 31-14 the score. 5:50 and counting. Tigers have it first and goal at the 3-yard line. Snap back to Miller. He's going to keep it himself, looking for a hole, and doesn't quite find the end zone. Was able to pick up about a yard. Second and goal coming up. Same formation, same personnel in the backfield. 2 wideouts, right, 1 left here. Second and goal at the 2 for the Tigers, looking to extend their 31-14 lead. Miller claps, takes the snap, looks to throw right. Here comes the blitz from the Saints, and they flatten them at the 10-yard line. Miller didn't even have a chance to get rid of that football before the defense was on him, and he comes up with a bit of a limp as well. Wow, the Saints were there quickly on the blitz. Third and goal from the 9 now after the loss. Interesting, they got away from the run game there, which was working pretty well the last several plays. Olivet, no problem taking their time here. 8 on the play clock. 4:18 to go on the game clock. Miller takes the snap. Play action, quick throw into the flat. 1 guy to block, 1 guy to tackle. Saints miss the tackle, and he fights his way to the end zone. Great individual effort by Matt Yoder, the sophomore wideout, for his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yoder was stopped really at the 5-yard line, got by one of the St. Francis defenders, and then carried the other one pretty much into the end zone after he was tackled at about the 2-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints put 6 more points on the board, lead 37-14 with 4:05 left to play.
Tigers on top, and here comes Johnson for the extra point. Good snap, holds down, and it is good as the sunshine comes back, at least momentarily, here at Ward Field.
Good news over in University Park, Nicholas. The Saints remain undefeated in women's basketball, defeating Governor State 57-46 this afternoon. Checking some of the leaders for the Saints. Takara Harrison, 22 points. Leilani Harris, 16. Let's see the rebounding leaders. Simone Harrell with 10, Mariah Pates with 9, Lorelei Thormeyer with 7. Saints shot 42% from the field, held Governor State to 30%. The Saints had 5 3-pointers to 2 for Governor State. Saints shot 72% at the free throw line, where Governor State was 56%. How about this rebounding advantage, 51-28 in favor of the Saints, who led for all but 5 minutes of the contest. So the Saints improved to 7-0 on the season, ranked number 18 in the nation. I think that's just going to climb as the season progresses.
I think so. Fun brand of basketball they play. A really good individual talent and coached very well. All right, let's see if Carl gets a chance here with 4:05 to go in the game. Nope, they angle it right. Short kick, right to Abubakar Berry from the 25. Running lateral, and he's tackled at the 25. You can tell the game plan on special teams for the Tigers, huh? Don't kick it to 1. And it's a good idea they did.
Well, seeing a lot of Carl Bew this afternoon, both him and Nathan Mall. Carl's actually a sophomore, Nathan a redshirt freshman. You also have Johnny Sorensen, who is out today at another 3-man quarterback battle, I'm sure, in the offseason.
Here's Carl here on first down. Takes the snap, 3-step drop. Settles in the pocket, nothing doing. Has to step up and go. He's going to tuck it and look for the right sideline. He'll pick up the necessary 10 in a first down as he runs out of bounds. 3:50 to go in the season. They as in Olivet, the Tigers have 7 players who have carried the ball and 8 players who have caught a pass today.
And they had about 4 guys on both running and receiving with big numbers.
Carl looking downfield. He actually didn't get it again. They gave him 9 yards as he launches it downfield. Has Ryan Little, but he fell as he's trying to catch the ball. It would have been a short, at least a catch. But Ryan Little tripped on something, or maybe his own feet, but fell as he was trying to make the catch, bounced off his chest plate and incomplete.
Yeah, you don't see that very often from Ryan Little. I don't know if he was trying to come back and maybe caught his cleats in the turf, and that's where he fell. But he had a 5-yard advantage over his defender on that far sideline.
A decent throw from Carl. It's now 3rd down and 1. Snap, give to Berry, looking for the right edge, turns it upfield on the sideline and picks up the first down.
Good job by Berry that time. Not much space on that far sideline, but nonetheless turned it upfield. We saw in the first half why he tried to stretch it out and led to a loss of 1, maybe 2 yards, and turned the ball over. And this time he picks up the first down, moves the chains.
Berry behind Bew. Looking left, nothing downfield. He's going to have to scramble a bit and fires into the Olivet Nazarene bench. Connor Engstrom, the closest receiver. 2:54 to go in the game. Saints trail 38-14. The wind and the sun now at the back of the Saints. Going west to east. Second down for the Saints. Their own 41-yard line. Snap back to Carl. Looking to throw. Nothing short, nothing long. Plenty of time, solid pocket. Now Carl takes the sack. Trying to find something downfield. The pressure finally got there. It was Mike White, the junior.
Yeah, Carl had at least 8 seconds in the backfield, couldn't find anything. And again, that's a situation where if you can't find anything, you got to put the ball down and run. And Carl was just waiting and to no avail.
I wonder if, as a quarterback, you see the sun's out, you see the long shadows, which way they're going, and you just say, hey, I'm throwing this long. See if maybe you can get a beat on the ball before the defensive back does, and maybe the sun will get in his eyes. Here's Carl to throw on 3rd and long. He checks it down to Berry. Beats his man to the sideline and may have picked up the first down.
He's going to be,
yep,
he's got it.
Nice play. It was a check down.
17-yard pickup, and Barry running here, tight-roping that far sideline, knew exactly where he needed to get to the first down marker, and it'll be in Olivet Nazarene territory.
And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning as one of the Saints offensive linemen a bit slow to get up on that play. That's Mateo Pilara out of Manuka.
No, I think it's Isaac Pula.
Ooh.
65, right?
Oh, I thought I saw 63. You're probably right. Nice play by Barry to turn up the Jets on that far sideline to pick up the first down past the 50-yard line. Saints are 351 yards today, but only not as many points as you'd like for it.
Yeah, they put together the yards at times and had some big plays of their own, but they just haven't been able to sustain the drives. And where they've started from this afternoon has been pretty much in their own territory, 10-yard line, 20, 25. And then they pick up 40, 50 yards and just either lose the ball on downs or have interceptions or turn the ball over. I think that we've had 4 turnovers this afternoon, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble.
Sun's still shining here at Ward Field for our final 2 minutes of the 2025 season for both of these teams. Carl Bew in the pistol, a little bit of a low snap, picks it up just fine. Nothing downfield, but he's got plenty of grass to run. He'll take a shot at the 35-yard line. He could have slid if he wanted to, but he took a big contact for a pickup of around 13 yards and a Saint first down. Line of scrimmage up to the Tiger 35. Tigers will rush 4. Fires down the middle of the field, has Friddle open at the 24-yard line before he's taken down. It's a pickup of 11. First down for the Saints on that play. 2 consecutive first downs for the Saints, 1:38 to go. Bew in the pistol again on first down, takes the snap. Looking left, he checks it down to Barry. 25, 22-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. Pickup of around 2 or 3 yards on the play. Clock stops at 1:22.
Push that bounce by Canarius Chandler.
He's only gained 1 yard in the play. Second down and 9. Line of scrimmage, the 23 of the Tigers. Olivet going to do everything they can to try to keep him out of the end zone here in the final $1:22. Snap back to Carl. Nothing there left, nothing there right. Scrambles again. Carl keeps it, 20, 15-yard line, and he runs out of bounds.
Going to be about a yard short, I think, or 2. They're going to mark him at the 16. Needed to get to the 14 for the first down.
It'll be 3rd down and 2 for Bew.
73 seconds left on the clock here in the 2025 season.
Corners come up. Linebackers come up. They're going to rush. Here comes the blitz. Carl gets rid of it. Gets it to Engstrom at the 10. Breaks 1 tackle. Cannot quite get the 2nd and 3rd. He'll have a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Saints at the 5.
And how about the job Engstrom did on that play?
Yeah, he almost fell down.
Yeah, he almost fell down, and then he recovered and had to spin around to make the catch and then picked up an extra 5 yards.
1st and goal for the Saints. Snap to Carl. Flags come in. Let's see. False start against the Saints. So just in case the 5-yard line was too easy, you're going to make it 1st and goal from the 10.
False start. Offense number
Isaac Pula, the freshman.
To prevent the runoff, St. Francis has called their first timeout.
So Saints call a timeout here, their first of the half. They have 2 remaining for the final 56 seconds. Marion beats St. Xavier today 45-0, convincing fashion to take the MSFA Midwest title. Went 5-0 in the conference. They go 10-1. Marion's only loss coming against Indianapolis University in the first game of the season. After that, they ran the table.
And they were an NCAA Division II program.
I'd like to see him play again.
Yeah.
That Marion team is something. They just got playmakers in every level, both sides of the ball. Definitely a national title contender.
Yeah, I'm wondering, both them and Indiana Wesleyan, Marion would get a first-round bye. I believe the top 8 schools get a first-round bye, and then might see Indiana Wesleyan and Marion again in the second round.
That would be fun.
Postseason.
That would be fun.
Just because of the regional setup.
First and goal for the Saints at the 10-yard line. Marion Olivet showing blitz. They throw it in the end zone. Ryan Little for the touchdown. They go back shoulder to the near pylon, and he corrals it for the touchdown. Carl Bew throws the first passing touchdown of the game. That's actually Carl Bew's first passing touchdown of the season, which means he has a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a kick return touchdown in the same season. And they're going to go for 2.
Does he have a receiving touchdown?
No. Snap to Carl, rolling right. The pass was batted at the line. He was looking for Ryan Little going to the sideline, and it was incomplete. 38-20 the score, 51 seconds to go.
5th touchdown of the season for Ryan Little, gives him the team lead in the receiving department.
Yeah, for Carl Bew this year, 1 passing touchdown. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns. Of course, 3 kick return touchdowns. 158 yards of receiving yards, but no receiving touchdowns. When was the last time someone had 3? When was the last time somebody had all 4? If ever. I'm going to get our. Is there anyone who's had a receiving, rushing, kick return, and passing touchdown in the same season?
You might have to go back to Scotty Tumulty when he played a little bit more offense.
He had a,
what was
do you
that,
think he had a
his
passing
junior year?
touchdown?
Oh, yeah, true. That's true. Did Sam ever catch one?
I don't think Sam ever returned kicks.
Oh, that's true. Check mark.
Yeah.
Check the box.
Those are the 2 guys, or you think back to like an Elliott Allen type, but I don't think he did all 4. I don't know if we have anyone that's had all 3, a passing, a rushing, and a return. We have to look into that, get our statisticians on that.
It'll be an off-season project.
There is no off-season for you guys. Are you kidding me?
There isn't. You're right. It's an overlap right now. Yeah. Some fall great seasons. Our men's cross-country team going to nationals next weekend down in Tallahassee, Florida. 24th ranked team. As we mentioned, women's basketball ranked number 18.
Guerrero line drive kick. That did touch one of the return men, but he picks it up at the 10-yard line. Here comes the return for the Tigers. Uh-oh, look out. Cuts it back in between the hash marks, thankfully.
Runs into his own man.
The Saints take him down around the 44-yard line with 39 seconds to go.
Should have one play here, and that should do it.
See if they take a knee.
Yeah, women's volleyball fell one victory short of advancing to the NAI National Tournament opening round. Same thing with women's soccer. Lost 1-0 to St. Ambrose on Tuesday night. Thursday night, women's volleyball lost in the semis of the CCAC volleyball tournament. And so very successful fall seasons for many of our teams, 3 out of the 5, so that's good. And basketball's looking to be very good as well.
Somebody had too many men on the field. I'm not sure which one. It could have been both.
They're counting them now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Well, they said the sun was going to come out around 3 o'clock, and they were right this afternoon.
Another 4 turnover day for the Saints, really kind of put them behind things. 3
Yeah.
interceptions and a fumble.
And that's really been the story of the season, right?
Yep.
Be the 3rd game with 3 interceptions. This might be the most turnovers in a game, right?
4? I think
Yeah.
you're right, yep.
Or what did we have 4 the first week against Taylor? Might have been.
Well, Olivet not in any kind of kneel-down formation here. They have the ball at their own 44 with 39 seconds to go and an 18-point lead. One of the running backs coming up and talking about the coverage with one of the linebackers. There's the snap and the give. Goes for a yard to the 45-yard line, and time should tick off here, I would assume.
That will do it.
Clock will wind down, and the Saints will end the 2025 season with a loss on the road to the Olivet Nazarene Tigers. In the 33rd meeting between the Saints and Tigers, Saints now have a 21-12 lead in that series. Saints will end the year 3-7, 1-4 in the conference. The Olivet Tigers hop up to 6-4 and will end their season with a 2-3 conference records. The yardage is surprisingly similar with Olivet Nazarene with 419 total yards. Saints actually put up 404 yards today, 249 through the air.
Yeah, a lot of the yards for the Saints really coming in the second half. Got some long drives, but just, didn't get the points that they were hoping. Had a few stall or, result in interceptions in the end zone.
Carl Bew, 14 for 24 throwing, 196 yards, 1 touchdown, a pick. Nate Mall, 5 for 10, 53 yards, and an interception as well. Carl Bew was the Saints' leading rusher, 24 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown out of the quarterback spot. Aaron Larkins had 6 carries for 37 yards. For the Tigers, Caleb Garner, a great first start in his career, 15 for 23, 202 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. On the ground, they were led by Aaron Bennett, 9 carries, 72 yards. Only touchdown rushing for Olivet came from Gardner as well. So 3 throwing and a rushing touchdown for Olivet's quarterback, Caleb Garner. That's going to do it out here in Bourbonnais. Your final score for the Saints and Tigers, 38-20. Olivet Nazarene beats St. Francis to end the year. Similar schedule. Of course, you can get all the details and information about Saints football, statistics and everything else, story wrap-ups at GoFindingSaints.com. We move on to basketball season. You keep up to date with all of that at the same place at GoFindingSaints.com. Dave, been a pleasure as always. We'll see you next year, my friend.
Same to you, my friend. Appreciate the work that you put in each and every week to give the listening audience and the viewing audience when we're at home all the facts and figures and the straightforwardness of both teams. You and Dan Sharp at home. It's always great watch. It's always a great listen, and can't thank you enough for all your work.
I appreciate you. Saints fall here on the road to end the year 38-20 to Olivet Nazarene. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and have a great night, everybody. See you.